Welcome to this session of Outcast and Outclassed at Wit's End.
Let's go! We actually did it right this time! Let's go!
I'm so proud. The funny thing is that I forgot it was coming, actually, this time. I had to forget.
Always be perfect.
I was prepared, and then you said the name of the episode, and I'm like, ha, woo!
I can love it. So usually we do some brief announcements at this point, but we don't really have any this time. That's cool. So I'll say, if you're here watching us on YouTube or if you're listening to the podcast, still go to the YouTube and hit subscribe for us, and we'd appreciate it. That's my call to action. Look at me doing content creator shit. I love it.
Wow.
So we'll just go straight forward to our sponsors today. Oh, I do have an announcement. Oh my God. We have a giveaway tonight. We have a giveaway tonight.
God.
We have a giveaway. I'm so sorry.
Nope, it's too late. You gotta keep going.
Well, that's one sponsorship out of the window. God.
I was just stalling for time for our mod to be ready. That's my story.
That's what it was. Yeah.
So,
Ooh, under the bus. How's that bus feel?
Under the bus.
Under the bus.
we're so professional. Okay, so y'all, real quick, let's get this giveaway started, and then I will go straight to our sponsors. But the way we do our giveaways, for anybody that is catching this later, this is one of the great times. If you ever wanted to check our socials and come watch us live, do it. So you can win stuff like an 8-ounce crafty gamer candle, aromas of adventure of a scent of your choice, which is what we're giving away tonight. So with thanks to one of our sponsors, the Crafty Gamer, which you'll hear about in just a second. But to enter to win, it's going to be running through most of the first half. We will pick it at the break, and that's going to be !thread. So if you have not, I see that face, I'll fucking love that face. Go ahead and do that in chat, !thread, to enter to win, and we'll pull it later on. So with that, why don't you tell us, Maria, a little bit about our really cool 2 sponsors today?
Oh my God, I would love to, because one of them is the Crafty Gamer, who gives us things so we can do giveaways and such. So thank you, Crafty Gamer. Crafty Gamer, if you heard before, is a wonderful little place that has a bunch of really cool things. I'm looking for a specific scent of stuff that they have. So, Crafty Gamer has candles. They have smelly fragrance scents. They've got board games. They've got accessories for your ttrpg table. Basically anything that you want to accentuate your experience as a table of ttrpg nerds. They probably got it. That you can check their website to see for sure. But we're doing a giveaway of a candle. I got a candle around this time last year, actually. I think is when it was. Wild. The Forest of the Fae. It's a very, very delightful smell that also comes in a room spray. Has the scent profile, and I quote, is flowers, musk, amber, and moss. And if you really, really stop and smell it, you can smell a bit of existential dread from Tau. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch season 1, about episode 6 or 7. But they have a bunch of other beautiful, wonderful scents of things. So go check out thecraftygamer.com. Let them know that we sent you there. Use the code WafflesMaple and you'll save some money. You'll save some money too.
Save some mommies?
Some money and some mommies.
Save the mommies.
Save them all. The second sponsor that we have is Eldritch Osiris Games. Eldritch Osiris Games is
You said that so seriously after Crafty Gamer. I feel so bad.
Listen, don't worry. I'll get weird with this one too. Eldritch Osiris Games is the first workers co-op that specializes in Pathfinder2e and related things that people make. If you make a thing, then you can partner with them, and they're really rad to work with. They are currently 6 days away from wrapping up the Kickstarter for the Mechfinder Universe of Mech and Magic supplement for Pathfinder2e and D&D 5e, which is really cool. They have blown away their goal. They are well over their $5,000 goal, but stretch goals are a thing. So go and support the Kickstarter. back their projects, support all of the things that they have going on because they are fantastic. And you can do that at EldritchOsirisGames.com.
Amazing. Just a little bit in there. One of their stretch goals that I think they just hit.
They're like 900 over it now.
They're 900. Oh, amazing. It was us. We were a stretch goal. How freaking cool is that? So we are now going to write for Pathfinder. So if you are interested in anything like that and our contributions to it, you can check it out. But okay. I suppose there's nothing else that we can delay.
Time to die!
I'm sure you'll be fine. I'm sure everything's fine.
With that, my friends, we'll see you in class.
I don't have a backup character!
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
So, we're going to start things off with the allocation of a hero point to one Star Shinobi for behind-the-scenes work of putting together literally the entire inventory sheet for the entire group. And behind-the-scenes work does not go unrewarded.
Hey, you're note
please
takers, everyone.
Hey, you're note taker.
I didn't know.
In hero points.
I didn't either.
one
I'm opening
thing.
it now.
There's one thing that I said throughout this entire past weekend at Big Bad Con on most of my panels, which is bless your note taker players. And that's you, Star. So enjoy your hero point. You deserve it.
Also, it's color coded. Like, whoa.
Zero. I almost
I'm
have 200
sad.
pages of notes. It's fine.
You're on book 2 of notes. Bless you. So with that hero point awarded, and the reminder to anyone joining us in chat that if you award an Owlbear Nugget, that is our Cheeky Nuggies or Owlbear Nuggies are our hero points. You can award them to the players or to me. I'll take them all. I'll keep them all.
No, I just got one. Thank you, Demi Luna.
So, we come back with a reminder of what just occurred. It's been a little bit for us, but not for you as your characters. So, we finally traversed into the city of Natambu. After, well, technically that already happened, but anyways, after visiting Teacher Ott's wife, we continued onwards into the city to pursue one of 2 leads that were provided. You're going to go first. You were going to go first to Sharo Smith's Exports, the trading bazaar, to see if anybody had heard anything. On your way there, you ended up splitting out of Ark's hesitancy to go on the boats, but with Tal's eagerness to go on the boats, you split. Splitting went through to 2 different encounters. Ark and Arafe finding some local buskers, some street performers who seem to have been complaining about certain bug issues impacting their instruments and their livelihoods. Successfully and impressively fixing the loot that was harmed by, I believe, termites. You share your name to them, I believe, as well, and they ask if you're from the school, and they take note of the assistance that you've provided. Then you have a heart-to-heart conversation regarding expectations, and I kind of remember specifically. Can you remind me, was it why you do what you do? Or about leadership. That's what it was, right?
Leadership
about
was that
leadership.
conversation.
I've been doing a lot of prepping. I apologize. My brain's
No,
not
you're
on
good.
it. About leadership and some of the communication differences between the 2 of them and what leadership means to each of them. After that conversation, we turned our eyes to Hideaki and Taliatya. Traversing on a boat, before they even get to the boat, they encounter an individual. Non-binary with money issues, it seems. Concerned and scared that someone is after them. Assisting them nonchalantly with, what was it? How much gold? How much gold did you just give?
50!
50 gold?
50 gold.
I was going to say 500. Glad I didn't say that.
It was not that.
500 gold.
I don't think we have 500 gold.
$5,000 now.
1 million.
Offering them after some concerns and trying to get an answer to their question, but they did not seem willing to divulge why they were so scared, simply that they were in gambling debt of a kind. You offer to go on this boat with them, pay for their ride, pay for their debt, and head off to your destination. Along the boat ride, you have a private conversation that is not so private, as there is indeed, also that person and the person, taxiing you, ferrying you. But nonetheless, you have a heart-to-heart. This time discussing... Somebody help me.
Where we at though?
Oh yeah, we had a DTR in the boat. We discussed our relationship or our friendship or the perception of friendship.
Where
And
we
it did
be.
not go
All
that
those
way
things.
either of us intended it.
Leaving you both perhaps a little bit worse for wear, each in your own heads, concerned now from that conversation. But together, you meet up outside of the Shadowsmith Exports, leading into a bustling, interesting bazaar and marketplace. Noisy to the extent that it begins to impact Ark. But distracted by an altercation happening at a stall deep within as a guard gets called forward, you pursue and stick your nose in someone else's business.
As we do.
You meet the small kobold shopkeep of that little stall, as well as one beautiful ASMR, however you pronounce it, Aya Alahi, the, in fact, merchant and co-owner, business partner of Shadowsmith Exports. Assisting in these thugs that seemed to be kind of causing some sort of issue with this little kobold, you, with the presence of Overnoza, the dragon Eidolon, urge them off, hustle them right on by, and thankful for your assistance, she asks if there's anything she can do to assist. You mentioned the Griffons. She says to wait there as she sends her people to find information on your behalf. In that moment of quiet where you simply wait, Ark, getting agitated, a little irritated by the noise level and the crowds and the stimulation of the environment, begins to question Tal and the situation. Interrupting. Did you begin to interrupt Hideaki? Or was it rather that through their anxiety, they've begun fiddling Tal with a little spool of thread, yes, that one, in their pocket. Eventually pulling the last inches of thread off of that spool and cursing to some form or another Hideaki. Sensing this in that moment, Overnoza whirls around at you, Tal, which is where we're going to pick up. Everybody ready?
Born ready.
Oh, ready.
Yeah.
All right. So,
I got my question mark card.
Overnoza turns to you. Head kind of looming tall above you, taking up space, wings not spread, but aggressive in demeanor. Takes a step towards you, past you, Hideaki, and goes, "What did you do?"
When I pulled the last of that thread, I felt something change, right? Something
Yes.
shifted, but I wasn't sure what.
Would you like to make a perception check?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Okay.
What did you do, you may wonder?
I don't even know. Oh, God.
Also, as Tal is doing that roll, is a dragon towering over a small cat folk yelling in the middle of the bazaar, pulling attention towards us from the people around us?
Great question.
I will keep in mind that you are looking at this. This has just started happening. Let's see how it goes, and then I will have you make a perception check for it.
Gotcha.
I think this is accurate. I rolled a 2 for a total of 7.
Awesome. Awesome. So, because here's the thing, the thread is not left in your pocket when it empties from that spool. And so you felt as you pulled that last little bit of golden thread from that spool, it disappear in your fingertips. And you know what that means. You know that something happened. You know that previously you would cast, I believe, the stumbling hex.
Yeah, I did
when that
stumbling hex
occurred.
once, and the only other time is when I could make myself talk to Overnoza.
Right. So you sensed it disappear. But I think with that roll, you're not quite sure where it went. Even with that roll, though, even with that, in your innate sense, you do know at this point, you've pulled enough threads, you've played with enough of these that, like, you know you impacted a thread.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But that's about it.
Okay. But there's no real, like, sense of where it went. Okay, perfect. Then I think Tal, who, having been kind of peppered with questions from Ark and had been staring off towards where Aya had gone, at the sound of Overnoza, will just quickly, like, whip around in that direction, and I think will, not even thinking about it, pull their hand out of their pocket with the spool in their hand still, but a little bit startled by the ferocity at which Overnoza had yelled at her, essentially. And looking genuinely, like, confused and now a little bit frightened, was like, I don't, what do you mean?
That, and he's going to swipe for the spool in your hand.
Ark draws his weapon.
Okay.
Okay. Whoa.
I think instinctually Tal is going to pull back.
Okay. Make
Do you want to do initiative
no,
or
no.
dexterity?
We'll
Okay.
we'll say that you pull it back as he kind of reaches for it, but this whoa, whoa, whoa interrupts.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what just happened, but like, as someone that is a king of escalation, this is a little much.
Hideaki, Tal just cursed you.
What?
What?
What do you mean?
Look. And he's going to, like the sigil that you both share between your eyes kind of glows for a second. And he kind of basically is asking if you will allow for you to like share vision, because you can do that, right? You can look at through Overnose's eyes.
Yep.
And doing so in that moment, you see from the spool of thread
That's now like sitting in Tal's open hand as they're like just now realizing that it's empty.
the spool is empty,
Right.
but the hand that is holding it, just you barely see this through Overnose's eyes, and as soon as it's there, it's almost gone. It's like a glint in the light. You see a piece of golden thread tied around Tal's finger, connecting straight to, you see your own body.
No, I've seen that.
But
before.
as it goes to you, it blackens, and you see it turn black around your finger. And then
So
you
why
kind
did
of go
you-
back into your own vision as soon as that is gone.
Tal, why did you curse me?
I didn't mean to. And they're looking down at their hands at this empty spool.
Didn't mean to.
No, I just wanted. It's allowed me to do other things that I haven't been able to. I used it once, and I was able to talk to you before Overnose. It let me do things that I couldn't do before, and I just wanted something that she had, and is just kind of looking in the general direction and like waving towards where Aya had gone.
As you kind of are saying this, Overnose sort of is as not stepped back, but sort of sits back on his haunches, kind of still like raised a little bit off of his front legs. And he does shoot an eye over to you, Ark, with your weapon drawn.
Yeah, Ark's just in fighting stance, ready to go, but is not making any moves at all.
Put that away, boy. I couldn't hurt her if I wanted to.
And why is that?
His eyes go over to you, Hideaki.
Because that's how the connection works. It's through me. Through us.
Tal, Arafe, and Ark make a perception check. And Hideaki, make me a deception check.
Where the fuck's perception?
I got a 12 with a +7. I got a 12.
Natural 1. Let's go. I mean, Art's gonna arc, so.
Ark and Ari are a little thrown.
17.
This came out of nowhere for us.
22.
22.
Good
Tal, you see like Overnose let out a breath, but that's it.
Art just keeps looking with the weapon drawn. And you can't overpower it. Talking to
I
Overnose.
could. In your head, Hideaki, Overnose asks, are we keeping this a secret?
Which part?
The Gios.
During the silence, Art takes a step forward.
For now.
As Ark takes a step forward, Arafe is actually going to start moving herself between Overnosa and Tal.
Okay. So that will then put you also in front of Arc as well. I think you're kind of like putting yourself in the midst, because I imagine this little like kind of triangle. Honestly, it's like 3 folks half turned in Tal's direction. So it's like Tal is on one side, and then it's like a triangle, but like Overnosa is across from Tal, Hideaki at one side, Arc on the other. So you're gonna kind of put yourself right in the middle of all of this.
Why is everyone so tense? Apparently I'm the one that something negative happened to. So like, and I'm pretty chill. So I need everyone to take the volume down.
I am just preparing for Overnosa to swipe again.
I won't.
Arc will keep the weapon out, but like put it down more like a walking stick.
Hideaki will put a hand out. Can I see it?
Are you talking to Tal?
Yep.
Tal had been staring at this fool in their hands, and will kind of like they're in a bit of a daze. We'll just kind of hand it towards you and just let it fall into your hand, and then we'll quickly put both hands in their bag and pull out a ferret-looking creature and hold Nim in front of them. And looking very panicked, we'll say to Nim, "What did I just do? You have to know." What?
You wanted to take control, so you took control.
Not of him, not like this.
Well, you could work on that control, the finesse.
Is that out loud?
My side is.
Unfortunately,
side is,
Nim only communicates telepathically.
Arc just standing
think-
there while literally no one's talking.
Yeah,
I'm Tal said it out loud.
It's like a
and-
one-sided phone call
Okay,
at this
okay.
point. But I'm very specifically like, Nim is like, I'm in my face.
He kind of he takes the spool and sort of like hands it towards like where Overnosa is, looking at Tal. What do you mean him? Are you referring to me? And why?
Just wanted to have some control over something, and it.
At my expense?
No, I guess it chose you. Whatever this magic was, it chose to have control over you.
You
And
chose him.
Yeah, and he actually, even though he obviously doesn't hear that, he like traces like where the thread was that connects the two of them. She already chose me, remember? He walks up to you. If you want to experiment with whatever this connection is, I'm okay with it. If that's what helps you with whatever you need.
Overnosa at this point comes down from his like haunches down to back to his sort of like longer. He looks pretty short, but he's like goes back to all fours because he's very like snake-like. Aliatia, do you consider yourself weak?
Tal's arms kind of droop, and like Nim droops with them, and they'll open their hands and not unceremoniously, but not with a great care, just drop Nim the however foot or so towards the ground.
They hop down and just sort of hop right back up onto, like, from your leg up and kind of sit on the top of your little, like, bag so that they can watch events.
I do.
Overnosa just scoffs. Look at what you can do. You hold multiple fates in your hands and you call yourself weak.
But that's not what I'm doing. This wasn't me gesturing towards Hideaki. I didn't do this. This just happened.
But you did do it.
And I would like to imagine that the two of you say it in
100%. Absolutely. Just imagine.
What does that tell you?
Just imagine as you learn about what you can do, what this connection can do. You have an idea of how to control it. Instead of being curses, it could be boons. Actually, it sounds kind of cool.
Really quick, Ark and Arafe, what are you doing in this moment?
I don't think Ark and Arafe were ever clued in on the extent of this. Like, we know that there's a connection between the two, but I don't think we ever got told about, like, the pain connection that happened. I mean, Arafe knows that Tal got hurt one night, but doesn't know why. So I guess she's just kind of waiting to see what's happening.
Okay.
But she also has the thought process of, I can't make a comment about feeling weak.
Yeah, honestly, Ark is in the same boat. Not about the comment of feeling weak, because he's quite strong. But
Ark and Ark.
More along the lines of, like, not really knowing enough to be part of this, and even further with Ark, I think I don't even know if Ark knows that they don't know enough. Like, they're not even, like, this is just a random thing that's happening between two people with almost no backstory here.
Arafe, can you make me that perception check now?
All right, be better than the last one. Yeah. Much better. That is a 22.
Okay, thank you. In the immediate, you see Varshez, the kobold, who is literally the stall you are, like, right next to with all of this happening. You notice two things. One, that other folks are keeping their distance from whatever is happening here. You feel a few eyes on the situation as voices are raised, especially with the initial, like, posturing, but it seems to, like, there's still something going on over there, but it doesn't look like it's about to break out into a fight. So there's just sort of eyes on you. And Varshez themselves is just kind of, like, leaning forward over the, like, because they're small and they have, like, a relatively average sized stall. So you actually see them, like, leaning forward with arms sort of crossed on it, watching y'all intensely. Like, this is a really good show. But it's not like the joy on expression on their face. They're just very, like, what's going on over here?
Gotcha. Okay, so nothing that I would definitely, like, feel concerned about.
Not right now. I will carry that forward. Yeah.
Is this a conversation you would all like to continue here? And she'll kind of, like, motion towards the people around, or is this something we want to continue somewhere else?
And you are waiting. You were supposed to wait here until you get information, just as a reminder.
I don't mind either way, if I'm being honest.
If we don't have it, will it hang in the air?
Yep, I'm sure it will.
Knowing us, yes.
We're really good at that, actually.
Then have it.
Hal, all I ask is for you to pay attention. You've connected our fates, not just Hideaki's. We share a soul. But beyond the threads and the spare connections that this brings us, it's obvious to me that every single one here relies on you.
Does Ark actually shake his head?
No, he doesn't.
Okay. 'Cause that would've been
Amazing.
so
That would have been amazing.
Obenaza cuts his eye over to, some people are relying on you.
I guess I won't speak for everyone. I am just a dragon.
I think there's actually a small joyless scoff that comes from Tal at that. And talking to Overnosa, because they can't bring themselves to look at anyone else, they'll say, I don't think you see what I see, Overnosa.
No, I don't. I have a much broader view, stuck up there alone in the astral sea.
How very
You
impersonal.
are
of
not
you.
special, Taliatia.
I know.
I think we're gonna disagree with that one.
I know.
Everyone, Venosa kind of looks at you, Hideaki, when you say, like, I disagree there. Everyone looking at you is here beside them. They are not here on an island alone. You have each other. That is what I mean.
Hideaki reaches into his robes and pulls out a small piece of paper, folds it up into, it shows just one word. It is the piece of paper that, one of the pieces of papers that John Timo sent with us. And it just says United on it. Can we do this? Can we be this? Because if I'm being very honest, I've been fucking trying.
Have you seen that, Taliatia? Have you seen how hard Hideaki tries to be your friend?
In some ways, yes, but... And then they'll glance between Hideaki and Arafe. The way that you two... Since I came back, I keep feeling like the two of you could keep protecting me. The only times we have conversations that mean anything is when I have to get angry at either of you. And I don't want to be protected that way anymore. If something is wrong, I need to know. We've had one conversation where all of us said things that were meaningful and we all learned. And it was right before we went and fought Stone Ghost. Do you remember?
Of course.
Yes.
That's the only time anyone has ever tried to question me. And it was Ark. And Ark, I don't even know if you believe me half the time I say things.
You don't.
Which is
prove them.
fine. You...
And again, he's a little more. The sounds come out a little more on edge than a normal arc.
Mm.
I don't think that I'm trying to protect anyone from anyone else. I'm just trying to figure out how to connect with everyone.
By avoiding me? By not talking to me really until today? That sounds like you're running from me.
He's trying.
Oh, I'm sure he is. You can try as hard as you want, but if nothing comes from it, what is it really? And Ark, I have shown things to you, and you still choose not to believe me.
I can show you an illusion spell of gold. Will you believe me?
Yes, I would, Ark, because I trust you not to lie to me.
That is naive.
Maybe it is. Maybe the whole reason I came to... You asked me why I came to this school. Why I came here to begin with. It wasn't because I said I want to go to school. I didn't even know what school was. My grandmother told me, if you want answers, go to this school. If you want answers, go to this place and find them. I came here because of her. I didn't want to be here. And now that I have been here and everything has happened, I don't know what I want to do anymore.
I don't
I
think
don't
you'll.
know why I'm here.
I don't think you'll ever find answers if you don't want to be here. It seems like you are wasting your time.
I think that's a little unfair, Ark.
Are you stepping up as the leader now?
I stand up as a questioner. You say
It wasn't
Tal
a
doesn't
question.
know how to be here. Tal came for a reason. The reason disappeared and she has to find a new one. I went through the same thing.
But if the
It took
reason
a
is to
minute.
find answers, you'll never find the answers if you don't want to be here. It is a waste of time.
You're still allowed to feel like you don't want to be here, even though you still have answers to find.
Airfay, with your carrying over your perception check from before, there's one thing you notice standing kind of from your angle is the rune on Ark's temple is sort of flickering.
Ark, are you saying that everything that has happened since I've been here has been a waste of time?
In your goal to find answers, yes. You haven't wanted to be here, so you have not been questioning to find answers. You've nothing but gone along with the ride, at least as far as I understand this conversation. Am I wrong?
I don't think you're right.
It would be rare.
You're not perfect, Ark.
I agree.
You had experiences, Nim's voice. You grew stronger. You wouldn't have been able to play with little sister if you hadn't had them. You wouldn't be able to pull on those threads if you hadn't grown stronger.
Tal just just shoots a glance, not at Nim, but in that direction, and says, I need you to leave. Just for a little bit.
In your intent, do you wish them to disappear from your sight, or do you wish them to disappear?
Unmanifest.
Unaware if unmanifesting is a thing, I think Tal's intent is to not deal with them right now. There's too much to deal with that having this extra thing is just a bit too much right now.
Yeah. You watch, all of you can see Nim sort of uncurl from on top of the bag, kind of hop down by Tal's feet, and sort of hop off into the crowd, sort of behind a crate, and you lose sight of them.
Tal, I want to ask you a question. Not out of malice, but out of love. Do you feel you deserve to be here?
I want to be with you all.
And that's enough. And from what you were saying earlier, I think you do know what you want. You want to be in control of something. I've kind of noticed you feel like you are not in control of your power. I've noticed that since the time we've raced Habram? I always say his name wrong. Habram. Maybe that's your goal for now.
That reminds me, actually. Tal, are you still scared of the darkness?
I wasn't until obviously it's doing something to you that I don't even know what it's doing anymore. I've never known what it's been doing.
I guess that's part of it, right? Like, you gain knowledge and new perspective by doing things, by interacting with people, by interacting with spells. So maybe that's all right.
By that logic, Tal should have gained more knowledge than any of us.
Considering what they've been through that we haven't,
Yeah,
I argue that they have. Yeah.
Yet they don't seem to.
That's not up to you to decide. That's up to them.
Also, despite having these conversations, I'm keeping an eye on that rune. Is it getting brighter, duller, staying about the same?
Waffles, can you answer that for me? In this state of the conversation, is it staying the same or is it getting brighter?
I think it's flickering at a greater frequency.
Okay.
I don't want to change the subject, but I feel it needs to be addressed. What's going on?
Art just kind of looks at Airfay. I've showed you
Do
the rune.
you feel different in any way inside your body?
No.
Trying to adjust her wording from what she wants to ask, because she knows it doesn't land right.
No. I just think
your
this
rune
is
flickering.
And he kind of he can't see it. Obviously, I think the other two heard it. But he finishes his words almost over Airfay too and says, this is just a dumb conversation.
Why do you say
You-
that?
It is going nowhere. So far, I've heard you want to be in control, but you're not. Hideaki wants to be friends with people, but he's not. And Airfae wants to be a leader, but she's not. So what are we doing?
Ark, is there something that you want to do that you are not yet?
No, I am doing everything I would like.
Rafe is going to take this opportunity. Are you doing everything that you would like, or are you doing everything that Iska wants you to do?
I think Ark swings his weapon at Airfae.
Oh shit.
Oh,
Okay.
yes! Yes!
So I want to take a hot moment to check in.
Let's go, baby.
As the
Oh
rune
my
as the rune fully glows. I should-
Yep. I did this on purpose.
I'm so
Mhm.
proud
I
of
want
you
to make
all.
that clear.
Hey, you beat me
Yes,
to
yes,
it.
yes.
I was fucking coming for him too.
So
I
you,
consent to this. Let's go, baby.
in this
In the
moment,
middle of a shop.
you watch Airfae. Your eyes have been tracking the rune. And as you say, what Iska wants, the rune goes from flickering to glowing. And sort of simultaneously, Ark's hand tightens around his staff. And you see it coming towards you.
I'm gonna let it happen.
Roll, what's that?
I'm gonna let it happen. I'm not going to try and avoid shit. She knew there was a minuscule chance that Ark was about to kick it, but didn't know. But
Yeah.
yeah, no. She's just gonna let it happen.
Ark?
Can I give my
Yeah.
mechanical
Yes, please.
input here?
Yes.
Per the rules of the game, I think she would essentially be unconscious. It's not.
For the rules
for
reasons.
the rules, the mechanics. It's -4
Okay.
AC.
I was gonna say, wait, you
it's-
automatically just knock me out? Damn.
No, no,
Like,
no, no, no.
Okay.
You are
Like-
treated as if unconscious. for the purposes
Statistical
of hitting.
adjustments
You
for
are
the
lit-
rules.
if you're
Gotcha.
literally
Okay.
trying not to move your body, then you would be unconscious.
Okay, so you
Sounds
have a
good to me.
-4 status penalty to AC in this case, so you're still going to roll for me, Ark.
Yeah.
I like that call.
I'm gonna hear a point.
What did you roll?
Natural 1.
Look at that fate,
Okay.
baby. Oh,
20. Are you stopping me? You can.
Having thoughts. Actually, no. Never mind. Choices were made. Please continue.
20.
Yep.
Hits.
Would have hit me without the penalty.
You
Does it crit?
No.
Okay.
I'm not
Can
that
you
weak.
describe like how you're hitting them? Like are you I'm assuming, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're not like cracking down on their head. Are you just kind of like slamming them on like the side of their arm? Like how does this kind of present?
Yeah, it's basically side of arm. Like the blade is usually forward for Ark, and so he kind of spins it around, and he's hitting with the stick part, and he just kind of cracks into the side of their arm, and there's no spell behind it, like, but you can tell it's still a solid hit. You take 2 bludgeoning damage.
I would like to give everybody a chance to react, but we're gonna start with Airfae.
So it strikes her, I assume still hits her pretty good with a 20. So she does get knocked to the side just a little bit, and it is still a little bit surprising to her that this happened. And so she'll just gonna look back up at Ark and go, maybe Tal's not the only one who needs a little more control.
In this moment, Ark.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask that you hold off on responding to that. I want to know what Tal and Hideaki are doing. If possible, I'd like these kind of be to make it reactionary. It's like 1 to 2 action things only, but like one thing, but up to 1 to 2 actions. And then I want to swing back around. Because we can go into turn order if we want, because initiative is not just for full combat, but I sort of want reactionary responses to get a full picture, and we'll move forward from there.
You want to go first, or you want me to?
A question about the timing of things, because I know coming from D&D land, everything basically happens at the exact same time, even though we narratively say that it happens like in sequence. Is all of this happening at the same time, or is there the hit, Airface says whatever they say, and then we respond to that? Because I have 2 different things depending.
I'm trying to look it up real quick, Waffles.
You know what?
Do you have...
Let me tell you when Tal would respond, and you can tell me where that would fit, if possible. When Tal saw Ark take a step forward and start to swing, Tal was en route to tackle Ark.
Okay. And then give me your intent as well, Hideaki. I'm gonna narrate this myself.
It's exactly the same thing, but with Overnosa in tow as well.
Okay. So what we're gonna do is, as Hideaki, well, rather as Overnosa and Tal sort of buffet either side of Ark, like kind of literally like about to kind of impact, you get that chance to respond to that. And then Ark, you're kind of begin to be grappled on all sides by a few individuals as you hear the words, maybe they're not the only ones that need to work on their control. Are you... So, and first of all, Hideaki, Tal, so Arafe mentioned the rune, and you see it clearly as it begins to glow. You are absolutely aware of this at this point.
Right, but to make sure that I'm understanding, Tal, doesn't know anything about these runes other than they have one.
It's glowy.
Yep.
And it's glowing.
It's
and
glowing. It's abnormal. Things are happening. You are aware of it. Are you going to fight this after hearing those words?
What is this? Is it
being grappled?
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, let's do a very quick foe initiative, if y'all don't mind.
I don't mind at all.
This is so good.
Oh, jeez. PvP
This is not
in the
how I
market
thought today was
square.
gonna go, and I didn't think it would be Ark and Arafe going at each other for the first one.
This is great.
Yeah, that I would have lost that bet too.
24.
What am I doing? Ay, ay, ay.
Dirty 20.
Absolute garbage. 8. I'm gonna hear. Can I hear a point? My initiative? Am I allowed to do that?
It is a skill check.
Great. Can I can use a skill that's not perception. Right?
The GM says.
Technically.
For this, it's fine. I'll stick with perception.
What do you want to use?
Well, I was thinking of something that would be based on a more speed base, because I'm not trying to push Ark to the ground. I'm just trying to get like a step back,
Yeah. The skill check, you can do it as athletics, because it's what you're literally the action you're trying to do and how fast you can do it. Otherwise, it's how fast can you react, which would be perception.
Okay. Then I'll stick with perception. 16.
13 for me.
Okay. Ark?
24.
Yeah. So it's your go. So they're coming at you, but I will say, can each of you roll me the first initial athletics check to grapple?
Yeah. Now, question: I couldn't have guided myself, right?
Not in this instance. This was
That's
like
fine.
part of the reaction, yeah.
That's fine.
Which we don't really have reactions, so we're doing a little bit wishy-washy, but we're good. We got this.
Timey wiming, and it's fine.
Timey wimey, indeed.
You got to beat a 22.
Well, I didn't.
That your
It was
fort
a 14.
DC?
Yes, that is my fort DC.
All right. Hideaki?
No. Not even close. But
It's like Ark's our strong one.
yeah, right.
It's like Ark's our tank.
But I'm gonna hero point with Overnosa.
As you go to hero point,
Oh no.
you feel a sort of like weird sort of rewinding, and you are kept from using your hero point.
Hey, remember when we said that hero points are fortune effects?
I remember.
Can I ask?
Do I still lose it?
Yes.
Okay. That is cool, and I kind of love it, actually. I think that's awesome. I'm not going to lie.
I love it, and I hate it.
Can I ask what you rolled?
Let's see. For Hideaki, an 8, and for Overnosa, a dirty 20.
Okay. Then Art, like during all this, kind of dodging a lot of them, will sidestep Hideaki and trip him, causing him to fall prone because it was a critical failure.
Mm.
Can I react to that just verbally?
Yes, verbally always.
Cool. So, like, as that happens, and he like crumples to the ground, just because we're not friends or rivals doesn't mean that we aren't.
It was the second we that we pointed to.
Arafe.
The rest
Gotcha.
of the group.
And Tal, actually,
Yeah.
he points to everyone.
Okay.
And I won't let you hurt them.
Arc, in this moment, make me a I'm going to start with the perception check.
Oh, I'm great at this. 17.
Okay. For the rest of you, the rune still glowing at this point. And Waffles, please take the narrative control when you want it regarding the rune. But I would say in the moment with that perception check, you're reacting the way makes sense for your body to react. You are not sensing that there is anything abnormal about it.
Okay. Yeah, he just got attacked by multiple people. He kind of looks down at Hideaki, saying that he's not going to let them hurt anyone. And he's going to swing again at Arafe. This is my full action, right?
Yes.
Okay. So he swings once.
Can you share some of your intent and character stuff as well?
Yeah. You said what? Let me make sure I'm correct. What did you say at the very beginning of this? Like just now, you said like my body doesn't feel like anything is wrong.
What did I say?
Yeah.
Or what did Arafe say?
What did you say? You said my body doesn't feel like anything is wrong.
You, Arc, are not sensing that you're behaving irrationally or otherwise abnormally than normal.
Okay, so I think I'm acting normal.
Yes.
Okay. Then yeah, when Arafe says like maybe Tao isn't the only one who needs control, and then 2 different people attack him at almost the same time, he thinks that everyone is kind of against him in this moment. He is going to swing at Arafe.
Okay.
27.
Yep.
Okay.
You take 7 bludgeoning damage. with a much more solid hit.
As you take this action, the side of your face just feels a little bit warmer. The rest of you notice that the Ark's lines, the android lines that run through most of their body, is a bright blue. The rust red of the rune begins to tint the lines nearby. Continue.
Can I respond with just like verbally, not doing an action? And we all see this like red thing happening, right? That you were
Beginning to
saying?
sort of spread, yeah.
Okay. Tal, from where they had kind of, I guess, overshot maybe in their tackling and had spun around, seeing Ark hit Arafe again, is just going to scream at Ark. Ark, stop it!
At this exact point, I think Ark was in the middle of his second swing, so I'm going to attempt to trip Arafe, like while the scream is happening.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, he comes around with one swing and then immediately goes into a trip with his weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
12. That's probably not successful.
No, 19 to hit me.
Okay. He misses a trip, and then you can tell, like, this is all like one fluid motion, almost as if he's not even thinking as much as he normally does. But he goes for the trip, and you can tell, like, where you would have fallen, he is already coming down with the blade, and then Tal screams, Ark, stop it, and he, like, kind of slams it to the side a little bit, and, like, into the sand.
Okay, so it looks like you diverted it.
Yeah, like,
Is that what I'm
the
getting?
very
Okay,
last
just wanna make
second.
sure. Okay.
Diverting this action, you all see that flicker for a second again and almost sort of slow that spread, and it just is flickering intensely. Ark, is there anything that you would like to share about what's going on in your mind right now?
Ark's not really sure what's going on in his mind, honestly. Like, a lot of rando thoughts. Not really sure where he's at or like what's happening. He knows everything that happened, but he's like confused if they're actually against him now that they're screaming stop it and everything. And so I think if you'll let me, he's not going to say anything, but like his last action is to take his bola like off his belt loop and just like basically disarming himself. Like throwing,
can I just say that,
dropping it on the ground.
Yeah. Can I just say that as a response to Tal yelling Ark stop it, Arafe is just gonna say, don't interfere.
Ooh. Arafe, it's your turn.
Okay.
Yo, this
I
is
was gonna
taking
do
so
this-
many left turns.
I know, this is what I was gonna do.
It's two rights and it made a left and now it's upside down.
This is what I was gonna do anyway, but seeing Ark kind of start to disarm himself, Arafe is just going to run forward and wrap Ark in a hug.
This
she's
MC
just
Escher styled fucking episode. I'm so excited.
and she's just gonna hold Ark tightly in the way that she knows is comforting, in a way that still seems like you could break loose if Ark wanted to. And she's go ahead.
I think, Ark, you would tactically be able to sense this, having diverted in this moment, having a second of a moment of thought that is like they're not attacking you. I think that you are going to be able to distinguish this from like they are not pinning your hands to your side, but they are giving you like a compression hug.
I'm going underneath your arms, so your arms are still free.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just for your knowledge.
Can I react? I know it's not my turn.
verbally, but what are you doing anything else? Let me just Arafe, anything else you're doing right now?
So just as she comes up and gives that hug, she's just going to kind of say to Ark, "What's going on in your mind?" That's honestly just my turn.
Okay. Go ahead, Ark.
Yeah, Ark's body like flinches a little, and I think with the rune kind of air quote calming down at the moment, he's kind of able to get out like through clenched teeth. Nothing is going on in his mind.
The red that was kind of beginning to spread into the blue is no longer in the blue, and it is now sputtering as it did prior, at the early onset of this conversation, I would say, if you agree, Waffles.
Yeah.
Tal?
Jeez.
Don't interfere. Oh my god. Oh.
Yeah.
You knew what she was doing, as dangerous as it is.
Tal is all right. I have a question for the GM. Would you say between the conversation, and of course the answer can also be no, between the conversation and now, would I have been focusing on Ark for, say, about a minute?
Oh.
I was focused on
Interesting.
Ark towards the last part of the conversation before Ark smacked one of my closest friends with a stick.
Yes. The issue that I have is because it's like without blinking and because you were kind of
Right.
like very like I would say probably in the last few moments, yes, I will let you be like halfway through that, but I don't think it would have been like a minute has passed where you've stared
Sure.
unblinkingly,
Yes.
just because of everything.
Counteroffer. Can I choose one of the three things instead of seeing all three?
I think you are staring and really wanting. Remind me what the three things are. Which one do you want?
Current apparent emotional state.
Okay.
I
will
yes.
give you the I will give you the answer
Okay.
of what you are seeing. You are not sure.
Okay.
And it's not that you don't think that, you know, your ability to see this aura is not working.
Right.
But you are confused. And you see frustration and anger, but it's like coming and going, and it is confusing because it's not, it is like it is abnormal, and you're seeing this in like an aura, right? And I would say very, very much like it is confusing. You are not sure. Overstimulation. But the aura is flickering, not unlike the rune.
Okay. Airface said to not interfere. I, however, am readying an action. I'm readying a spell.
Okay. Which spell? You can DM me if you don't want to say.
No. No, it's not a hurdy spell. I'm readying. I don't know if I can. Forbidding ward. But I don't think I have enough actions to do that. It's a
Right, so it is
2-action spell.
2 actions to ready 1 action, and it is a 2-action spell, so that gets funky. But basically, no.
Okay, then I will
If
not
I'm
do that.
correct.
I will. That is my. No, I'm not gonna do any. I'm not gonna do anything then in this moment.
Did you sort of internally, mentally kind of pull towards that power to cast that spell, like, out of consideration?
Yes, because I wanted them to stop hurting each other. I wanted to put it on. My intention behind choosing that was to put it on Arafe so that Ark would stop hurting her, and then also to put it on Ark so that Ark would know we don't want to hurt you either. That was the
You go to pull
intention. But
towards that power source. That source that you want. Because you want to influence this situation. And for a second, you're not sure where to pull from.
oh yeah.
But you glance to your right, and you see Nim's head pop out from a crate and jump on over to you as you go to pull for this power. And Nim comes to you.
I think
as a
then,
reminder.
yeah, I think then to kind of explain why I don't cast a spell is that Tal like pulls their hand away and like just kind of stops doing that.
Perfect. Okay. You do nothing.
I do nothing.
Hideaki.
I see your funky emotional aura and I'm like, that's weird.
Oh, my poor foxy boy. He, like, having sort of still on the ground, having kind of rolled, like half rolled, like facing towards Ark 2, and he's got like pulls out like a scroll, and has it like unlatched, and as he hears what Arafe says, and gets up. I need some air, and walks out the door.
Okay.
Weren't we in a
walking
courtyard?
out of this crowded space. It's
Yeah,
sort of like
we're in a
bazaar.
group of
We're
people.
outside.
Whatever.
No, but
Double
you
outside.
You need metaphorical air.
Yes.
Yeah. And
I'm
you
getting the
walk
fuck
out
outta
of
here.
this space because
Yeah.
it is overstimulating. It is loud. And Ovnoza follows after you as you go step out the front of the gates. Go ahead.
Is there like a body of water nearby?
There most certainly is, but give me 1 second.
Yep,
As
that's
you
fine.
head
Okay, that's fine.
out, you turn away from this and you kind of get up, brush yourself off, say your words, and head out. You step out from this. Okay, it's like a courtyard. There is a area at the very edge that is sort of under a overhang where the building is. So you kind of been to the side of this stall, which is partially underneath this overhang. You step out, turning around one of these like columns that holds up the sort of surrounding building. And a young woman who you saw, one of the people that was with as I blank on their name, Aya, quietly just steps forward and hands you a folded up piece of paper. You take it. They step back silently, give you like a polite, non-expressive smile, and turn back around into the crowd as you head outwards. You exit the entrance gate where their 2 guards are. You notice one is looking inside as if they are aware of some situation. But you step forward. So you know from here the closest body of water is basically the docks that you kind of came from.
That's where he's headed.
Okay. So you definitely can go there. Let me know if you're reading the paper or not.
Before he does that, about 30 feet away from the body of water, he screams and casts Produce Flame into the water.
Okay. Kind of getting that anger out. You do see a couple looks. This isn't like a private space, but you don't seem to be causing any harm. Like you're doing it into the water, so folks are just kind of like, I'm not sure what that is.
Don't worry about it. And then he looks at the piece of paper.
The paper unfolded has very simple handwriting. On it, it says, Oba's Wondrous Creatures. Three missing Griffons. And the location.
Because I don't think he didn't wait to see if Overnosa left with him or not. So if Overnosa is still inside or in the thing, tell them where I am.
Overnosa kind of followed after you, but gave you some space. Hearing this, Overnosa turns back around, goes back towards all of you. Ark.
Ark's just going to kind of stand there. At this point, I don't think he's got the care to fight against the hug. He's not really like giving into it either, but he just kind of like stands there, like pretty stiff.
Overnosa coming back round will simply say, if everybody's okay with softly falling out of initiative order. It's quite loud in here. We have the information we need. Shall we step out?
I think that's a good idea. And Tal, I think for the first time, like takes in the fact that there are so many eyes that are on them, and their ears just kind of like fold back, and they're like exceptionally uncomfortable with this kind of attention.
And then Arafe, are you slowly letting Ark go?
Yeah, so it'll slowly let go and step back.
As the hug continued for a little bit longer and Ark did not fight back, the rune slows to like a dull thrumming. And as you lead out of this space and the initial din and noise level lowers by dramatic decibels, it fades until it's no longer glowing. And that's where we're going to take our break.
Sheesh.
Welcome back.
We're back.
Nothing major happened and we're all happy. Everything's great. So
I'm
we
fine.
return after a breath of fresh air, after an intense moment, inter-party conflict done impeccably, and you all come back in on this scene where I will say that you have come out, taken some breathing, out of the noise, out of the stuffiness and intensity and stimulation of the bazaar. And there's still occasional people milling about. There's still people walking to and from. You do hear the sound of a moving city around you. I think it hits every single one of you that today has been a lot. Hideaki, with the note of the information, Do you share this with everybody?
In his way, as they like meet up, he just puts it into Ark's chest.
Ark kind of.
Give me 1 second.
Oh, terrible timing. Sorry, Waffles. I did not see that.
I'm sorry, I have to eat soft food because I have Stitch in my mouth. It's Stitch.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ark kind of like looks down at it and grabs it with his hand. Is this the next place?
Yep.
He like waits a long beat of silence. He probably gets the awkwardness at this point, but also like doesn't really care about it. He just raises his eyebrows and goes, "So we'll head out tomorrow."
That's a good idea. Should we meet up bright and early?
For breakfast, right?
Arafe also is not addressing the situation at all.
Yeah, like I think if you look at Hideaki, he's got a bit of a confused look on his face of just like, really? But like leaving it alone. Sure.
What's on Tal's face?
Oh
Fur.
boy. Well, you'd like to think
Damn
that,
it.
wouldn't you? It's just been skin the whole time.
He's like Mr. What's his face from Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
Hairless cat.
Tal is actually
yeah.
a sphinx in a furry suit.
This is correct. No, the walking out of the courtyard, Tal is. I'd like to imagine that Tal is just kind of perpetually using this aura sight, like as they're kind of walking, because it's a little bit like it's more than a minute walk at least over to where Hideaki is, and is just trying to internalize as much of this feeling of like, even as it's fading from around Ark, this like confusion and frustration and just anger-ish, maybe, kind of, and is trying to. It can't make heads or tails of it. So, like, right now they look confused, and perhaps it could be interpreted as a similar confusion that Hideaki's feeling, but is more confused and concerned that perhaps Ark has a similar lack of understanding of their power as Tal does.
So with this realization brewing in you, a sort of confusion at is this really what's happening from Hideaki, and then two folks that are willing to just move right along, I say you all make your way back to the school. It turns out that the following day is not an ideal opportunity. There is a class, sort of like a assembly or something that happens in the morning soon after, and you guys get pulled into your classes, and it is not an ideal time. The following day is another super busy day where, you know, one or two of you or something have a class that the teacher is taking you out to do X, Y, or Z in the forest, and sort of happens again and happens again. But eventually, around, you know, a few days here or there later, eventually, you find a time where it is most of y'all's off day from classes. So I'd say probably before 4 days, because you had classes that day and you kind of went out in the afternoon. So I'd say maybe, you know, 4 days later, it is one of your off days, and you decide that you will head out again, bright and early this time, not after classes, but straight into it. But before all this happens, there's a couple things that we need to resolve. Don't give me that look. And we're going to start with you, Ark. Because whether it's that night or the night after, you do think back to your actions in the bazaar. And I just want to focus the camera for a moment, maybe an evening where you are in your room in the Sprout House alone, and you're thinking back to it. Because there's one thing that sits a little off, which is that you understand everything that occurred and all the actions you took and all the actions everybody else took. You can analyze it fine. You remember everything. But one part that sits just a little off is that looking at that situation, you don't think you would have acted the same way if it were right now. Is that something that Ark has experienced before?
No, I think he's always been in complete control of like how he would act. It always makes perfect sense. And yeah, I think they just kind of have to sit with that, and they might write it down almost like journaling style, but like it's literally just like writing down the facts that you said and then putting the book away.
Okay. Hideaki, in your frustration, you take your time sitting in that. And it doesn't have to go away. But you do notice that the group is moving on. How does, in whatever way that means, the classes are still happening, you guys still meet up for breakfast in the next couple days. How does that sit with you?
It fucking sucks. It's like on a much smaller and more visceral scale of when he was like, wait a minute, we literally saved this entire school and like no one seems to give a shit. Like we just moved on. It's just happening again, encircling their specific blast radius. It's infuriating to him. He doesn't know what to do.
He doesn't know what to do. And so for now you sit in this and it is uncomfortable. But you find yourself, as the plans are made, as the next few days don't work out, the day that you have off, the day that you're heading towards where you now know is the Griffin location. There's something about that you're like, fine, I'll focus on this then.
That's literally the word I was about to say. Because, strangely, anger gives him focus.
So renewed focus from Hideaki, some consideration and analysis from Ark. Tal, you also had an emotional little roller coaster of a space. In the next few days, where is Tal's mind kind of going? Because there's two things that I will say remind you that you do think of in the space of that realization that you just shared, which I will sort of use as kind of continues on into these days as well. But something clicks. Teach Ark about emotions. Iska's words come forward in your mind, and you just can't help but wonder, is this what they're referring to?
Yeah. So there's I think there's a couple of things that Tao busies themselves with during these couple of days. Maybe not really even seeing anybody because they're trying to focus so hard. They very similarly to what to parallel Arc almost, very methodically try to write down every single possible definition of the sensations that they saw or felt from that aura around Arc, to try to somehow explain to them what in the like, so they could ask them about it later. And then tries. I don't know how far they could get in a day or two, but does want to try to do some digging, specifically on, because I have Android lore, but combining that with book learning of if there's anything about androids specifically in the school. And then with that, with what you said, you know, Iska's voice kind of popping into her mind, trying to find any way that they can articulate emotion to anyone. They've never had to describe emotions to anyone, and is now thinking, how does Iska think I can do this? Why did I sign up for this? Yeah.
So you kind of begin a dive in between classes and just out of kind of curiosity to scratching
very
that.
late nights, like trying to
Yeah.
spend as much time, because I know that we are going to end up together again. And at some point, this has to be addressed, because Tal is also scared that, you know, something's happening with Ark that maybe Ark doesn't quite understand. And that
Yeah.
Tal can relate with.
So if you can, for me, make note of the next sort of downtime that we have, that I would like one of your decisions to be this research, and we will sort of resolve those roles and that information with that sort of downtime activity as it'll kind of pursue over
Yep.
our course all of those things.
Yeah. That's at least that's on their mind if they're not doing practical research right now.
Perfect. And Arafe, that was a lot. And as you have a moment alone from the course of these events, there is a moment. What's going through your mind?
Honestly, she's kind of taken aback by how confidently she did that. She realizes that is something that she's done. That's one of the most confident things she's done since she's been here. But she's just hoping that it was helpful for Ark.
Yeah.
Very taken aback, honestly, that she got attacked, but hoping it did what she was hoping it would do. She will also tell Yafira, thank you for listening, because she didn't come out to protect.
Holy shit.
Oh.
Is what Yafira says. That. Yes, I missed that. God, I missed you. That is. Yes. That was awesome. It was fucking awesome.
I just hope it was helpful.
Well, yeah, if it was, it wasn't. It was fucking awesome. And like Yafira is just like really, really proud. And that's how I remember you.
We might have to talk about that more.
I was thinking about it a little bit. And I was hoping to try something.
What?
You can't remember, right?
No, I've gotten a couple slivers after we interacted, but nothing else.
I want to try to show you what I remember.
I'd like that. Terrified. She is terrified of this, but this is what she wants.
Whether it's that night or the next, you take a moment after school, after classes, to sit down with Yafira. And interconnecting and holding hands the way she does. And you can tell that the day that she does this, she is all but gone for most of that day, reserving her energy for you. As she kind of comes forward for this moment. You see her presence sort of three-dimensionally in the space, as she sometimes does, sit across from you, and with hands out and palms out on her lap, she takes hold of yours. And you try to fall into a form of a meditative trance. Takes a while. At first, you just sit there, and your mind wanders. You think of the day that just happened, the classes that you went to. You think of a few days prior. You think of interaction with Ark. And as you and your mind kind of go to standing up and the confidence and the confidence that you displayed, something in that wavelength, almost like when you are lost in thought until you fall asleep and you can't tell when thought has turned into dream, happens to you. The village is familiar. Though looking around, everything looks and feels muted, like you're looking through a slightly tinted glass. Below the eaves of a house gather a small gaggle of children. And a small circle is being formed, and in their hands you see a colorful glint and hear the satisfying clink of marbles. They're showing them off to each other in giddy tones. Can I play? You hear a young voice and look around, but there's no one beside you. The voice came from where you stand, but it isn't your voice, you don't think. The kids all turn to look at you, and the excitement dies down. It's quiet now. You feel the body you're viewing from shrink inwardly. There's a young boy, freckled, with unruly ginger hair and sun-reddened cheeks, that steps forward. Mama said you're cursed. You sense the hands, yours but not yours, curl up and clench at your sides. I'm not cursed, the voice yells. But you can tell it's shaky, already beginning to tear up. R2, the boy yells back. Mama said you bring death wherever you go, that you're bad luck. And we don't want any of that here, so leave us alone. He steps forward, and the body instinctively steps back. But not your foot slips on a loose pebble, and your perspective shifts as the world tilts as you fall backwards. Hey, you leave her alone. This voice comes from behind you, but you're distracted by the pain that blossoms in this body from the fall. And you bring the hands that were used to brace the fall into your lap, and you see the pale, colorless skin torn, blood beginning to well in the nicks and scrapes of the gravel. The eyes stare at the blood, not aghast, not with horror, but with a sense of comfort, familiarity. The eyes look up now, and you notice the kids look ashamed. And the ginger boy is raising his hands in the air. I didn't do anything, Ari, I swear. She fell on her own. You look over as the girl who yelled approaches you, concern in her eyes, and you see yourself. A younger you. If you were here, then would you remember this? Whose perspective are you in if not your own? Your head is beginning to swirl and pound as you try to remember. I need you to make me a will saving throw.
That's a nat 20 for a 29.
Oh, what a fucking nat 20.
I picked up one dice and I went, no, different dice.
Smart move.
Smart move.
It happens to be my gold dice.
Fate, it's fate, it's fate, I tell you, it's fate.
You push and strain against an invisible barrier. Gritting your teeth with one last force, you feel this barrier, this net, cast over you loosen further. You find yourself now in your own shoes, your own perspective. Still a young girl, but now you're staring down at the girl who fell. You see her, pale skin, only a little darker than your own. You see the braid of white and black hair running down her back. Her face is still a little blurry, though, like a puzzle piece still missing from this memory, but you begin to remember your memory. You look down and notice the blood and scrapes on the girl's hand and shoot a glare over in the direction of the kids who are gathering their marbles and beginning to scatter. All she wants is to play, you think to yourself. Well, if you didn't do anything and it was an accident, then surely you won't mind if we both join you for some games, you remember saying. The kids that began to walk away halt and look at each other before nodding slowly. The boy looks over, but she's bleeding, he says simply. Oh, that's not a problem. You smile down at the girl and reach out, proud to show off your skills together. You watch black and white energy synapse in the gaps between your palms, pulling away. There is no trace left of the hurt. Now then, you say as you begin to stand. You ready to play? You're about to say it, a name, one you know but your ears can't hear. The world stretches and morphs as you get shunted from the memory back to the here and now in the present.
Oh. Was that you?
You see that Ifir is sort of faded a little bit back to being a shadow on the floor. All that left is sort of the hands that are sort of grasping yours. You can see this took a lot from them. But the shadow nods.
Can I kind of tell that they're starting to, like, lose the control kind of thing?
Mm-hmm.
So she's going to recognize that the name eluded her.
Mm-hmm.
I know her name. But apparently not the right one. What is your name?
The head sort of... It shakes and wobbles in uncertainty. Can you remember?
Can I push and try, or is that something that's going to elude me?
You can make another will saving throw.
Okay. That's a 19 for a 27 or 28.
Let's go. The dice tell the story.
I am sweating.
Me too.
A word comes to you. But it's confusing. The word you want to say is the name of a demon. The word you want to say... Why do you want to say this? Renala.
She's a little worried, like scared to say this word because it means something different. Renala?
The hands kind of reach back out. You remember? And you feel the net that you loosened earlier has remained loose. And more pieces of memory are slotting in. Slowly. But yes. That girl that you saw, that young girl, you think back to the memories that you had prior of you looking at that room with 2 beds, and then you see her there too. And you look back to the moments where you've been with your mothers, and you see her there too sometimes, and little pieces, and it is her face. Her face is still blurry. Her face is not quite fully there, but she is now present in some of your memories, as you now remember a little bit more.
Star's getting teary-eyed over this.
You're not alone!
Renala. Rest, and we'll talk again.
Yeah. And there's like one last squeeze of your hand as the shadow kind of goes back into regular shadow.
Oh my god.
Amazing.
Ah!
I'm teary. I'm crying. Oh.
Oh!
Well then. Where am I supposed to go from here, guys?
I don't know. I
Apparently
didn't
to
know this was
Griffons.
happening
Apparently
today.
we have to go
Bye.
take care of some Griffons.
See you
We could just all
tomorrow.
take a nap.
I was like, Ari's got nothing to do. She's on cloud 9 right now.
Just stiff. I'm over here in my field.
Oh.
Is this when I say now? And now we go to break. Oh shit, we already been to
Oh,
break.
damn. Oh no!
Can I add a little thing to my focus? Just a little tease.
Heck yeah.
A bit of a distraction, if you will.
Yeah.
As the day of heading into town, he doesn't say
Presence.
anything. Yep, Presence is doing his
Presence
thing.
just hanging out.
He's just like, but father, he's still thinking about a particular grave.
What rolls? Okay. Well.
The dice tell story.
The dice tell the story. And
I don't know. I think y'all do a pretty damn good job too. Just saying. I'm just saying.
So, coming forward on the day, it's been probably a day or so for you, Arafe, trying to just like settle in with these thoughts. I will say it probably doesn't change like very, very much. But we can talk about, you know, with time after this session of like what specific memories, if any, you want to kind of come fitting back into focus and those types of stuff, and how this carries forward with you as Arafe. So we'll give a little bit of space for that. But as you are still kind of settling in, and the funny thing about memories, the way we're going to sort of also tell it in this story and on this day, is that you sometimes don't realize it until you think about them, right? They don't suddenly all come crashing into focus. So over the next few days, you can pull whatever collection back into focus. But the time for action on the Griffons has come, and you all gather yourselves forward. Is there anything anybody would like to do as you kind of come together before heading towards the Griffin, at least the address that you were given?
The only other thing Tal would have done during this time, which we can talk about off stream or later, is read that damn red book.
Thank God.
From their fucking grandmother.
Yes. You do. You read the book, and you also sit now with a bit more knowledge of the followers of fate. Everything that I had kind of previously devolved, and I will make sure to get that to you if we don't have that in front of us.
This noodle brain doesn't remember any of it.
This noodle brain doesn't remember much either.
Let's go.
We'll figure it out. No worries. Amazing. Okay. So anything when you guys gather together, or are we heading towards Oba's wondrous creatures?
On the day of, considering what happened the last time they were in town, Hideaki's going to take Timmons to cast Summoner's Precaution.
Awesome. Very smart. Okay. Tell me, is it like an awkward silence as y'all are kind of like walking together?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, maybe not, because if we've gotten together for breakfast the past few days, we've probably done
There's
the
probably
whole,
awkwardness.
like,
Avengers, like,
the
shawarma.
silent agreement of like, we're just gonna move on from this, right? We'll talk about this later.
Yeah, that makes one of you. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I guess Ari will,
the
because she's
shawarma's-
comfortable with what happened. She's fine.
The shawarma scene is probably like that evening, like that dinner. And then, there's the following breakfast, which may have been a little bit more conversation. Would you have shared, Erife, about your memories at all, or anything with that moment of Yafira?
I think I would, just simply keeping Tal in mind of Tal essentially pointing at me a few days ago and saying, "Don't hide from us." So, I guess we can kind of just glance over it, but she would share that, maybe not in detail of what she knows, just saying, "I'm getting some of my memories back."
Maybe kind of focusing on that win helps get some enthusiasm back.
Yeah,
But
Tal
feel free
is
if you guys want a
genuinely
quick
like.
moment.
I personally don't think that I need one, but I know Tal would be very excited, and it would kind of pull them out of their like a little bit of a hyperfixation hole that they were in.
Yeah. Hideaki, same way. Like, I think the minute you start the conversation, he interrupts and like grabs your hands. Really? Oh my God, amazing! Yes, you did it! Yes!
It's a little
Oh,
bit
sorry.
No, we're good. No, it's fine. I'm happy about it too.
Yes!
Perfect. Sort of resetting a little bit of the atmosphere amongst the group. It is the day of, and you are focused on getting some answers about the Griffons. And as a reminder, you're looking really to just investigate and understand. Who can tell me what are some of the questions you have about the Griffons?
I think
Yeah,
Erife would focus a little bit more on what their behavior was like before they went missing. Like, were they doing anything strange? Was there anything special about these three?
Where they came from, assuming that they were not born and raised here.
Yeah. Are there others? Were they taken care of well here?
The situation of like, what's the story of the Griffons and how did they end up at the school? Is that basically like the answer you're looking to fill in?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
All right. So you head off into the city once more. And this time, actually, I can actually pull this up on Roll20.
Can't believe I'm finally writing down on my notes. Griffin time! We're finally there, everybody.
All right, so we will, where is it? You are directed far, far, far to the right, east rather, of the city. So it is past that first ring, it is past the second ring, it is actually on the banks of kind of beyond the canalways, all the way to the east, if you see the spot that I marked.
Pew.
Indeed.
As you head down there and the space comes a little less city focused, a little bit more spacious, a little bit more rural, quieter for sure. And the plots of land a little bit larger. You see a bit more like farming. You see a bit more of that type of stuff in the area. You do note, just out of sort of connecting the dots, that the spotted hyena, which was mentioned to you, is kind of in that same area, which makes sense land wise, but is not the same area, like the same store or same location. But you kind of come up to a walking down a sort of longer path, almost like an orchard pathway lined with trees, as you get to a small building. You see behind this building there is sort of like definitely a large plot of land behind the building, fenced in, like gated, that type of thing. And you can tell that this sort of front room seems to be the office of Oba's Wondrous Creatures. I mean, you see a sign sort of hanging on the door as well. I'm assuming as you enter, inside is an elegantly styled woman who's sitting behind a desk, swiftly counting coins and writing notes in a ledger. It's still relatively early morning, but immediately kind of from inside, you can tell that this is a very animal-focused space. There is a bright parrot sitting on a stand outside of its like cage area, which is sort of sitting in the back with its door open. You see a few smaller animals kind of skittering about. There's feed places, and while it is put together, there's a lot of animals, and you can only make that so neat.
Like a free-range pet shop kind of place.
A little bit. But these seem to be more like pet animals. And you knew that you saw like the big plot of land behind. And I would also like, as we see her, to, if I can find her, share her image with y'all. We'll get there.
You won't.
I won't, actually, because I
Damn, called out.
know where she is.
Got him.
She's obviously in Oba's Wondrous Creatures.
Yeah, she's in this
shopping emporium.
Place that we just walked into.
Jeez,
Yeah,
I thought
what does she look like
in
when I look at her?
Tambu.
We're so smart.
So
We're vamping, but in like a way that is
I
teasing.
super appreciate it. So she has,
Support.
so she is elegantly styled. She has a sort of like slightly messy but purposeful hair put up, and there is a sort of loose wrap around on top of her head that you still see, like, it's mostly her hair, and then it's sort of kind of resting on top. She wears like long, large gold hoop earrings, and like one sort of zebra patterned top, like cloth that kind of crosses over, where beneath it is the same patterned colored clothing as her hair, as her head wrap. And so she's like, it matches, it's great, it's kind of inverse, it's real nice. And as she looks up, she goes, "Yes, how can I help you?"
Hello. You wouldn't so happen to know a little bit about some missing Griffons, would you? Like you had some and you don't have some anymore?
You. She sees, like, you see her looking at each and every one of you. Kitsune, catfolk, humanish. It's you, isn't it? You hurt my children. You did this. This is your fault. You killed them.
Oh, this is going to be one of those.
Not all of them.
Not helpful, Ark.
Precious babies. Do you know how expensive and how beautiful and expensive
You know what they were
were
doing? They were attacking people.
They're
Unprovoked.
griffins.
In the school. They were in the school. What were we supposed to do? Not do anything about them?
Yeah, just let
I'm
them kill
sorry.
everybody. Yeah, I'm sure it's fine.
All of this, All of this is your fault, though. You and the Magaambya all.
Okay.
They were very purposely attacking specific people. Not like
Yep,
Griffons.
Anadi.
We're here
Make
to
a perception check, Hideaki.
We're here to try and figure out what happened. We know Griffins normally don't act that way, so we're trying to figure out what caused them to change their personalities.
19.
Was it 19?
Mhm.
You see her kind of like look to, like, you have this like kind of sideways look to herself. Maybe like a mini realization when you say that they were focused on Anadi. But she kind of turns to you, Arfe, as you seem to be the most like level-headed. I demand compensation for them.
No.
Unfortunately, that may be something you need to speak to the school about.
If anything, the
Bury me in
Anadi...
paperwork.
Sorry, say that again, sir.
As you, she's kind of just being snarky and being like, and bury me in paperwork. But as you are starting to like convince and have your arguments, I want to give it a chance for the way you're approaching it, Arfe. I would like a diplomacy roll.
That's what I was hoping for.
What's really ironic is Tal has pretty good diplomacy and is just not in the mood to negotiate.
I'm going to use my hero point
Sammy.
because I will not use a 2. Yes.
Can I give
Excellent.
Arafay a -4 on this roll?
You already did earlier.
That's 16 for a 26.
Okay. So she's kind of
I
being
do
like,
book.
yeah, she's being like hot at everything, but like you do see your words beginning to like calm her down a little bit. Fine. What? Look. They got loose on that morning of the attack. I don't know why. That shouldn't have happened. But they're perfectly good Griffins. They were very sweet. I don't know why they got out. If you would like to take a look, you can.
Absolutely, we'd love to take a look. But knowing, as you're their handler, you obviously know them best. Was there any sort of change that happened anytime close to when they escaped? Were they
No.
agitated?
Can I make a perception check on that no? Because that sounded like bullshit.
Absolutely.
I want y'all to, because Ark will never.
23.
Ark just wants
23.
I trust her.
With that 23, just kind of tracking her eyes and sort of just really honing in on this, it is not that's there is something that she is not saying, but you don't think you don't think she's lying about this. Nothing happened to change their demeanor or something. She is holding something back, but it's not in pertaining to this.
He will close distance with like wherever, like a counter or whatever, like just to make a point to look them in the eye.
Ark draws his weapon. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
Let's do it again. Look, I don't know much about Griffons. I do know that they hurt some people, and we resolved that situation. So
you didn't have to kill them.
We didn't kill all of them.
Well, you didn't.
Our reminder here: we only killed one, right? The other 2 flew off.
You killed
it
one,
was
the other 2 flew
me.
off. You didn't also like put them down in a way like non-lethally, like to the point that they could be captured. They got away. Like you killed, the other other 2 got away.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he was about to say. If it's any consolation, the other 2 are somewhere out there. You should probably look for them. I don't know if you really like them as much as you seem that you do. But also, is there any others? Are there any other things back there while we're looking into it that could hurt us? Has anything else gotten out? He's like
Not
pressing really
yeah,
hard.
yeah, yeah. Make me a intimidation check.
Oh yeah, we on today. 26.
Dang,
Okay.
our rolls are hot today.
Mm-hmm.
Except for our
She
Imagine.
actually gets like begins to get like offended again, like the calming thing that Arafe had gone is starting to be undone, as she's just like,
Good.
I don't know what you mean. Yes, I have other animals back there, and unless they're all in their cages, just like the griffin should have been, and
Should have been.
That they weren't.
that is
Secure
not my
those.
fault. Now it is
They-
early in the
No.
morning, and I have not yet done my rounds. However,
Can I help you with those rounds and maybe we can chat some more?
Yeah, we'll go with you.
I will allow you to take a walk on my premises and take a look at my animals, my beautiful animals. Should any of them come to harm, I will be very upset.
We will take the utmost care that we can. And if there is a problem, we'll remove ourselves from the situation.
Fine. Follow me. And she turns around and first puts a hand out to her parrot, who she kind of makes sure that is put away, and secures all the animals in here for a moment, and takes a ring of keys and walks out with you and starts kind of walking on this well-trodden path out and back and around to the animal lot.
As we're walking, is Ark towards the back of the group? Kind of letting. Okay.
Very light.
Tal will kind of slow their gait and kind of let Arafe and Hideaki take the lead. And in a kind of a somewhat hushed tone to not hopefully get the attention of the person that they are following. Ark, what do you think of them? You didn't
Griffons
really
were
say a whole lot. All right.
Are you talking about the person?
Yes, we can't really deny that the Griffons were dangerous, but it's not our fault that we had to defend people.
I agree. I don't think it is their fault that the Griffins got away. It seems like an accident. They are in charge of this place and say they kept it fine.
There's no proof that they kept it fine. Don't you need proof to trust people? And Tal will not wait for a response and will just take some steps forward to join the other two.
Thought crosses Ark's mind, like, there's no proof that they didn't, and they're in charge of this place. But he doesn't say it out loud.
Authority. So, as you make your way to the entrance, so there is a path that leads about 30 feet past the shop, and through a pretty sturdy looking gate. And she walks you up to this gate, unlocks it, and says, "The grounds are yours."
Aren't these part of your rounds?
I have caretakers that'll be here soon, and I do have to finish my accounting my finances before everybody arrives, so I can pay them their wages, and as they go to feed the animals.
Understandable. Where would just if you can point us in the general direction, where the Griffins usually are held?
Yes, the lions are in the first enclosure to your left, and the griffins would have been the second one, but they are unfortunately empty of said griffins.
Where do you get these animals?
all over, really. I have connections when people get... See, there is the area where you can buy mounts, but I find that very boring. I think these exotic animals are just everything. They're so beautiful and quite costly. And so as soon as anybody hears or comes into contact with an opportunity, they let me know. And I ensure their care and pass them on to other buyers who may be interested.
Are there animals out and about? Like in the pad? I'm assuming we're looking at a paddock.
So as of right now, you're still on the entrance of this pathway.
Mhm.
So I will say that, like, you hear like some bird squawkings, but you're not like... It's kind of jungly. It's not like a zoo where everything is like cut down and you can see everything. There are enclosures with animals, and you can kind of see from one side like a little bit of a cage of an enclosure, but it's a bit more... I'm trying to think of like a good analogy, but does that make sense? Like, you can see that they're different enclosures, but it's very like a wilder space, and it looks like they use the natural habitat to house them.
It's more
Yeah,
of like an
okay.
animal sanctuary as opposed to like
Yes.
Okay.
a people's zoo for animals.
Yes, exactly.
Where did you get these griffins then?
Trying to remember. I've had them for a little bit now. I think there was just a merchant that came into town and, well, had a connection and brought them over when I asked for them. It doesn't seem to be anything in particular.
The cages that they were in, have they been like inspected or resecured?
No, I haven't gone through that process yet, as
That's
haven't had
good.
anything
That's
to put
good.
there.
That's fine. That's better because then we can see it as it was.
Yes, well,
So we can all get
I've been a bit
answers.
distraught.
You're not the
Understandably
only one.
so.
Shall we? And Tao's gonna just turn and go.
And you see she closes the gate. She's not locking it behind y'all, but just like it's a gate, so she just kind of closes it
I don't
behind y'all.
want lions getting in the city.
Like, as like Hideaki says, really, like there was like a 100% like a sense of like genuineness to it, and he goes, "Oh, the Griffons. Oh,
Oh, they fly. I will
Morning.
show you all her now that you've gotten a bit of her attitude because of the face cracking.
Oh my
I
God.
see.
What a delightful little smirk.
I was like, the art makes her like pissed off already, so I didn't want to show it to you before I
that's
show
really
that
funny."
she was
I
pissed
think
off.
that was a good move. I like her. I still like her better than what's her name, teacher that we all hate.
Karide?
Yep, still better.
My main teacher?
That's a shirt. Still better than Karide.
Oh my God, that is a shit. Amazing.
A plain banner.
Just a picture of Ott, and it has Hideaki saying still better than Karide.
Yep.
Love it. Okay, so I will now bring you to a map. Here's the fun thing about this, y'all. It's all gonna be revealed to you, so I will sort of explain it as we go. Bear with me. For anybody watching at home, know that I actually remade this map. If anybody who is going through the adventure path themselves or is maybe familiar, I do want to give a very clear piece where I have absolutely branched off and I made a bit of an adjustment. One of my lines and veils is any type of animal cruelty slash, anything like that. So I have not that it was written in this way, but there were certain things that were like too borderline for my liking. So I redrew the map a little bit, and I am reworking pieces of it.
Heck yeah.
Hashtag make the
Good.
game you're comfy with.
Yeah.
Also,
That's
me
what
and Tal are both kind of like squinting at Oba, thinking, why are you selling exotic animals in the city, though?
Yup,
Squinty,
mhm.
squinty eyes.
Yup,
Hmm.
mhm.
Because rich
Yep,
people
yep.
shit.
Rich people, shit.
Yeah.
TBH. I will. Bring
I don't
you
see
all.
anything. I see a black box.
I see it.
That is correct. I
We
brought
see
only
the
Ark out
abyss.
for testing purposes.
No.
Here are you. Oh no, I put you on the
Yay,
wrong layer.
chicken.
Hold on.
I want
There
to
you go.
see. Let me in.
You
Oh
should
well,
be able
now
to
I
see
see
now.
me. I see myself.
Do you have
Oh.
to
Really?
activate vision?
I am
on
the
tokens?
darkness still.
Let me
I am
see.
the one who knocks.
Oh, there it
I
is.
didn't think so. Do
There
you
you
only
go.
see yourselves?
I see
I just
everything.
I see
I see
my
everybody.
token, and that's it.
I can see
Well,
Tal. I
your
can
Let
see
me
everybody else.
refresh.
No, it's probably your token. Give me 2 seconds.
Hashtag
Well, I also
Everything in the
refreshed. I
What?
said refresh, and I didn't see anything different. We
Look at all these
While
cool
you're-
animal containers.
Oh, I
While
wish I
you're-
could.
Haters.
Like,
Ah,
as soon as they're
ha,
with
Ha! Ha! I see all of the cool animal containers.
yay.
I see them. They're here.
Excellent.
Great.
Sorry, it
Excellent,
took me a
good,
fucking
good.
second.
It's
All
all
right,
It's all
good.
good.
So-
We're good.
let's. Wait, did somebody say so? Did somebody need me for something?
I was gonna say something. Yeah.
Yeah,
As
what's up?
soon as they were outside of earshot, I super don't trust them, and I think we should be very careful because I bet that if they didn't have time to resolve the cages that are empty, that there's probably some awful cage maintenance already.
I don't know. I think that they're just. I feel like we came across some individuals who are like this person with my family's circus. We never wanted people who
As-
buy animals and then sell them to other people who want animals are like in this way. It's just I don't like
As you say this, Tal, and you guys continue to walk forward, so there's a few wide paths that lead through the area, and the smell of animal is unmistakable.
Certainly.
And I will say that this space is far kind of wider and further than the map. This is kind of the area that we're walking in on. And you see there is a large enclosure kind of to the north, so basically about here, that is currently empty. And there is a sort of a stand type thing, like a shed rather, right here in front. And as you kind of sort of pass through this sort of low tree, the first thing you notice on this little shed is that boards have been pulled away from it. And then from the east, you hear the sounds of several animals squawking.
Okay. So just looking at this shed, when you say it looks like the boards have been pulled away, does it look like someone pulled them from the outside, or does it look like they were pushed out from the inside? Can we tell?
Yeah, it looks like a lot of external damage.
Okay.
The Griffons escaped and let other animals out.
Maybe. I want to. Is there anything else to inspect with this shed other than the damage we saw? Like, is there anything inside of it? Any traces of what may have been in there? If something was trying to like get into this building, or does it look like something just crashed into it? And like,
Yeah, so stepping kind of forward, looking at the pieces of and feel free to move yourselves a little bit, of this sort of like space, you kind of look inside. There is little bits and that are like, okay, little bits that are like,
that's cool.
absolutely like sacks in there that have also been ripped out. You do see one sort of like half under a board where you see there is like a tiny piece of raw meat still sort of left like tucked inside the bag, kind of underneath one of the boards. You would imagine that probably this is one of the sheds for like storing food.
Didn't the Griffons look a bit sickly?
Not sickly as much as
Hungry.
hungry.
Yeah. That's more what I. That's
Yeah,
more of what I meant.
hungry.
Yeah.
Seeing the raw meat, I'm gonna manifest over Noza,
Mhm.
and just kind of say, "Want some?"
Oh, no, thank you. It's really kind of.
He's grinning at that and just continues to invest and look around.
So they said that the first. So she had said the first pen was the lions, right?
Yes, she did.
Okay,
Yep.
cool.
Oh, the first one to the
yeah.
the one that's like to our up, the one that seems empty.
Mhm.
Sick. Good.
Cool.
So
Great.
the
Great. Good.
large
Ruh-roh, Reggie.
enclosure that you're looking up to your north, now that you kind of brought that to focus, bears a wooden sign in front of it. Reads Lions 3.
Okay.
The wooden shed, like I said, from the southwest, has several boards torn from it, and bits of chewed leather harnesses and collars are strewn about, as well as several, sacks of large, like chunks of meat, as I was saying. And you also notice that. Let me see. Actually, you were looking. Talyatya, make me a nature or survival check.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
I was gonna ask, do we know what griffins eat?
A naughty.
Make me a survival check.
Bugs.
Actually, that's more like a nature check.
Yeah.
16.
Okay. So yeah, it's everything that you saw. Like there's like little bits of like leather pieces that may have been used for, who knows what, like moving or transporting the animals, and then those sacks of meats and everything. The other thing is for the boards and stuff that are like kind of slashed away, especially the canvas bags. You do see one interesting thing. It does not look like some of these sacks were torn open by claws. Rather more so by like several knife strokes.
Mm-mm.
Are you guys looking at forward closer to this enclosure?
Slowly.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll go ahead and
Hideaki's
summon.
concern is definitely popping up a little harder in the mind now.
Mhm. And I'll summon Persephone as well.
Let's just call her up actually real quick. Guest star right now.
Girl.
Hey, girl, hey.
Hey,
Rough.
come in.
The philosopher is back.
Hey, perspiration,
so-
we need you.
You so precipitation shows up next to you as well, and you best part is
Maria is
but-
so mad.
And as you slowly approach Erife, would you like to make me a perception check?
Okay. Also, the nature check that I got for
Yes.
what griffins eat, the world's trying to realign. I rolled a 2 for 9.
Balance is all things.
Meat?
Eat food when they're
Question mark?
hungry. You said perception?
Yes, please.
Oh, so funny.
16.
Hey.
Now I'm not going above a 10.
So you notice, first of all, that the door to this enclosure, sort of the gate to this enclosure, is open. As well as that the lock still hangs on the door.
Broken
Open.
or unlocked?
Would you like to look it over?
Yes. I'm gonna get eaten by a lion.
This was going to be like a thievery check, actually.
$16.
Unsure. It is open.
Did somebody break it?
I don't know.
You could look as well, Ark, if you'd like.
Yeah, Ark will step up and look.
As you're doing that, I'm looking for lion tracks.
I'm with
27.
Hideaki.
27. Amazing. Yes, you are looking over the lock. You see the telltale signs of little scratch marks near the lock, and you can quite clearly tell that someone picked this lock. And relatively recently.
And he'll relay that. It looks like somebody didn't break it, but they did break into it. Probably recently.
I wonder if it looks the same at the Griffon's cage.
Well, it wouldn't be as recent, but maybe.
Sure. Could be 2 separate incidents. But he's still looking down at the ground, looking for lion
Right.
tracks.
I'm also helping
Make
to look for
me
lions.
a survival check, both of you. Or nature.
Both would
God,
be
it
the
would
same.
really be cool if I could roll higher than
Oh,
small numbers. 10.
Ooh, 22.
Dang it.
22.
He's
Um,
on fire today.
There is...
You imagine
It hasn't rained recently, which makes this a little bit difficult. Tal, you're looking around, you're not seeing much, and there is a sort of like more well-trodden path around this space, like lightly graveled. But kind of looking from the doorway, you see some of the tracks sort of by the shed that you were just looking at, Hideaki. But you catch some going in the opposite direction, kind of like this ways, like up northeast.
Norther.
Norther.
Norther more.
Norther.
You
Well,
know,
get
when
to
you
the
go
north
up in the norther side
And
of
the
the
northern
Minnesota.
side
to
of
the,
the
you know,
thing.
Well, you gotta go up to the north.
You gotta go up to Fargo.
Oh my god damn.
Good
So like right over here, like up this way, Sarah? As I'm
So
The
you're
main
you're
path?
looking over here, so you really only like where you're standing, you see them kind of go off into sort of like a following that path upwards and to the right. You're not sure
okay, not that far.
when the path
Okay.
diverges
Okay.
where they have gone without
Okay.
kind of getting
He'll-
up there.
Yeah, he's starting to walk that way with Overnose and Joe.
Are y'all
And if tells
following
us to come,
after?
we can.
I am, but I'm also like trailing a bit more towards the pens on the right in the center to see what kind of
Yeah.
animals are in there and how they're faring.
Yeah.
Because
And
now
then,
I'm concerned.
Ark, you kind of, I'll say just slightly behind because you were looking at that lock. Airfay, where you headed?
I'm gonna stick with the group now with the possibility of lions being roaming around.
Got it.
So I'm gonna be keeping an eye out for them
'Kay.
as we walk.
So the pen to your right, there's a sort of like set of 3 separations of enclosures that have 2, and you recognize them as elephant birds. Now the thing with these elephant birds, though, you've seen the elephant birds that you've ridden once before, especially when you kind of went out and about for the mail journey. These elephant birds are gorgeous. They have like this shimmering golden plumage to them,
Show.
and kind of walking past their enclosure, you read another sort of sign that says elephant birds golden 6. And looking, there are 6 in there. However, they are squawking noisily and seem very clearly agitated.
Excellent.
Cool.
They're so mad.
Do they
Thank
all
you.
appear to be like looking the same direction?
They're sort of running about some kind of like against the edges of their enclosure, and you actually, as you kind of pay attention to this, are noticing that they're fluttering their wings against the edges of them, and kind of starting to like hurl their weight around as well, and they seem to be damaging some of their fine plumage, and seem to be like you're a little worried, Arafe. You're definitely the nature one of the group as well. Like, scared birds can hurt themselves.
Yep. I can't get them all.
And you can try to kind of approach and calm them down or do whatever you're trying to do here.
Yeah, so if I can, I'm just gonna say, just give me 1 minute. I would like to attempt to get here if I can.
So that is deep within the enclosure. Are you entering the enclosure?
It's like, I want to, but I know it's a bad idea. Star knows it's a terrible idea. Arafe knows that her calm emotion spell only works in 10 feet first.
Does Arafe make any idea of this? Like, make it known to anyone?
I guess, yeah. I could calm them down, but I can only do it within 10 feet. So I need to get inside.
Would it work better if they couldn't see you?
I don't think that would make them less panicked.
No, I don't think so either.
I mean, they definitely would have a harder time on me, but it might make them more upset.
Okay.
Hideaki, can you make me a perception check?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very good idea, though. I just don't know if it would make it better right now.
19.
Maybe they're just hungry too.
19. You catch the faintest, lowest rumbling coming from the north, like a low growl.
I knew it was bad as soon as you made us a map.
I know, right? Me too. It says quietly, we might have company. And he points to towards the low grumble sound.
Arc draws this one.
So going to attempt, if they do come this way, to not get too messy. Because, boy, I would love for them to blame another death on us.
Agreed. If possible.
Question for the GM. The pen that the lions were supposed to be in.
Gila?
Yes. Is there any sign that the way that got out was broken? Was opened? Did it even have a gate
That's the one I checked.
to begin with?
That's the one that was checked, yeah. So that's the one where the lock has been picked.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was for the shed for some reason. Now this makes more
No, no
sense
worries.
to me.
All good.
All
Yeah,
right.
so this is like the gate right now is like right over here is just kind of been pushed open. But the gate was still hanging on the lock. Just not
I mean,
locked.
the lock was hanging on the gate, but I understand.
Yeah, whatever I just said,
Yes.
inverse it.
So maybe we could, because I bet we're probably not going to be able to find our dear friend anytime soon. So any ideas on how to corral lions into their cage?
Well, we have a
I have-
shed full of food.
Question from Circus Meme. Can I use Circus lore to see if I would have picked up anything from dealing with semi-exotic or like I like to imagine that the circus was like more like a rescue circus of like we would find
Yeah.
animals either in distress or rescue them from places like this.
So yeah.
Circus
Make
lore,
me like
everybody.
a circus lore check, yeah.
Circus lore.
Let's
And
go!
that's how you
Learn you to use
Look at-
lore in the most
ba-ba-ba-ba.
effective manner.
Everybody be part of the circus.
Everybody-
Dirty 20. Nope, 21.
Amazing. So usually specific lore DCs are always going to be far lower. I would say there's two things that you could do. I mean, you used to have like sleep darts and things like that that would help calm them down, incapacitate them, and then move them to safety. So you can imagine, whatever that your way of doing things is for that, there's always the option of incapacitating them, bringing them to safety, maybe bringing them back in their enclosure, and locking that door again or something like that, because the lock was picked open, but you could probably still lock it behind you once you get them in there, kind of a deal. There is non-lethal damage that you could always do, which if it is something that does not have the non-lethal trait and you wish to do it non-lethally, it's, I believe, a -2 to all your attack rolls, just as a FYI. And there's going to be certain things that I'm a call. I'm not sure, Waffles, you can double check rules as written. Like, if you do a lot of damage versus like with an electric lightning bolt or electric arc, like some of the stuff I will not allow to be non-lethal to a certain extent. But I'm not sure.
So scorching ray, definitely non-lethal, right?
Also, damaging them with those types of stuff is technically dangerous as well and can anger them. So with your circus lore, basically, like, you're gonna need to find a way to incapacitate them if they are currently out in the wild.
Okay, I will share this with the group, and then I'm gonna actually, as quietly as I can to not like super aggravate any of the animals that are around, actually dash back over to that shed, because it might be a food shed, but in there somewhere may be something akin to a sedative or something like that, because it's right next to the lions. That's where that's where Tal's like mind is.
You're looking around. This definitely looked to be more of like a storage shed. Does not look like there is, at the very least, if there were any vials that were shattered, they're long gone. You don't really see any glass in here though. You don't think that they're there.
Hideaki looks at Overnosa. So I know you said you didn't want the meat. However, what might be a good idea is if we can lure them towards you with meat in claw or mouth, lead them using you as bait, and then when they get close, we close the gate and I unmanifest you.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Hideaki. You can. This is not me as Overnosa, like genuinely question.
Yeah.
You can only manifest unmanifest once per day. Is that correct?
I don't think that's true, but let's check.
It's a limited amount.
I don't even think it's a limited amount. I think it's just like multiple actions.
It's a 3 action. That's for sure.
I think that's the hinging on it. Like it's an entire round.
Yeah, it's an entire round. Yeah.
Okay. We'll double check that in a little bit.
The limit is he has to stay within like 100 feet of me at all times. But I don't think that there's a certain amount of times I can do it per day.
Okay. I know it's called Manifest Eidolon.
Yep, I'm looking at it right now. In Nethys.
Cool. Nethys. So, yeah, I don't know why I thought that. That's okay. I suppose can bring the fight in there, but they see me and meat, and I will simply be attacked.
Tal's come back up at this point. Are you speaking to Overnosa publicly, or is this private?
Yeah, out loud.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I'm very fast. I could probably. I could also be bait.
Multiple baits.
As you sort of glance back towards Tal to have this conversation, there's this moment, Hideaki, where you turn back around to look at Tal, and in that moment where you look back, it is this sort of like you feel it on the back of your neck. Yep. As there's this sudden like as charging out from behind, basically the what was obscuring your vision up north around the outside of the cage are 2 tigers.
Oh,
They
they're kind
big.
of pretty.
No, sorry, lions,
Lions.
sorry.
Oh my.
Big.
How about some bears?
Oh my.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Oh my. Oh my.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
I read
Wow,
that
they're
one.
big.
Bear with
Oh,
it. They were
boy.
just lying here a minute ago.
Hey.
Uh-huh.
So in
Uh-huh.
this moment, the
Yay,
one
all
lion comes bounding forward
much bigger
towards
than you.
you.
Cool. I'm big.
And I would like everybody to roll initiative. You were
Yep.
aware of their
Excellent.
presence.
Yeah.
Great. We were not surprised. Come here. My own little lion just came in here and just stretched up and touched my leg.
I was literally just thinking, I'm like, wow, we are taking a lot of time. There it is.
And there it is.
Oh god.
17.
Don't forget to click your token. Actually, you don't have to. You should be able to. You don't even have to click your tokens anymore. Thank you. Roll 20. I think you could just roll initiative.
I wish
I
there was a
believe
way to
that's
do
a
that
thing.
when you didn't, when you don't have. But what happened if you? But what happened if you don't want to open your character sheet? But what happened if?
I know I had that moment of like, oh, I gotta open my
Ways.
character sheet to do this.
Then you
Yeah.
hold Alt, double click your token. It opens your character.
Really?
That's your character sheet. Yeah.
Learn
But
new
I don't.
things about
But I
roll
just.
20.
But I don't want to.
Well, you see what happened was.
Well, you see what happened. You see what happened was I rolled better than what roll 20 said
You
I
can
did,
change it.
So.
You can change
I
it.
I did. And I did. And
I
I
did it.
did it anyway.
And I threw it on the ground. Okay.
My dad's phone. Sorry. Anyway.
What's the speed? Oh yeah, that's plenty. But I do need to roll initiative. And they're gonna roll it with stealth. Cause they've been trying. Ignore what it says. It's a lion.
Ha!
That's a Final
There have not
Fantasy
been enough
reference.
puns in this game. This is making me happy.
I feel very differently than you.
Well,
Well, it's because I find joy in life.
if you read the contract,
How dare you?
if you read the contract, it was written in the clause.
God, I hate it here.
I legitimately
Anyway.
almost just left the Zoom.
Yo, you're not alone.
My hand was moving.
Can I just use all 3 actions to unmanifest myself?
You can.
You just
Yes.
fade in the background. Your picture just overtakes you.
Oh
Yep.
my god. I would like to use my free action to request some battle music.
I'm working on it.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah,
I was
hell
punning
yeah, hell yeah.
first.
Jesus Christ, a 31. Oh my God. Fucking
Oh
hell.
my god,
What
the
the what?
lions are fast.
All right, they run into
Oh,
the
no.
cage and leave us alone.
Dude.
Yeah, they
Just-
hang out and they're gone. Bye.
Hideaki, I love you. Stop taking L's, bro.
Listen, you thought that my actions or otherwise would murder Hideaki today. No, just lions.
No, just lions.
It's a lot more mundane than we thought.
I know, right? Who
Yeah,
does
and I want to just, because we talked about non-lethal, yes, there's very little spells that are non-lethal. So like, for example, like I'm down to flavor things as well. So for me, like an electric arc is a cantrip, is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so that is something to me that like I will let you put the non-lethal trait on and like try real hard, but if for example you rolled a nat 20 on that final blow, like that's where it gets funky.
Yeah.
But there's
Yeah.
certain things that I, just because it's really not fair that for all you spellcasters otherwise,
Yeah.
but I'll be very transparent because it is not clear that what I am considering like can or
Yeah.
can't be non-lethal. So if
Can
you
I-
Got
are,
it.
Can I throw a couple of ideas out there?
yeah, of course.
So by the rules, spells cannot be non-lethal, -2 to take non-lethal attacks, etc., etc. We all know this. Like you basically just said it. I would also like to think, I am not 100% sure on this, but I would also like to think that by the rules, every creature also technically has death saving throws like people do.
Mm-hmm.
And even if we didn't take them minus double their HP, we would have a chance to stabilize them.
Yeah.
Yes. So again, thinking of this from the form of if you didn't care what like bodily damage you did to them and things like that, you would be able to stabilize them, but you want to
Yeah.
be careful with wounds and with like, you know, like the plumage of the birds and like there's other sort of additional factors outside of that. But
Other
yes,
consequences.
where
Yeah.
push comes to shove, yes, absolutely.
understood.
She's gonna
Also-
be like, "You hurt my friends."
Also, we do know things have death saving throws because I've healed enemies before by accident.
Gang, gang.
True, true. So the lion sort of starting to sneak over when you hear that incoming growl as it pounces on you, which is a stride and a strike at the same time, as it's going to kind of just chomp down with its jaws. Does a 16 hit?
Nope.
Fantastic. And then it's going to swipe with its claw for its second action. 14. And then, yeah, and then swipes again and completely misses. So you ready, you
Holy
waiting
shit.
for this. Yeah, by the hair of your neck, you see yourself turn to Tal, and you have that thought in the back of your mind, maybe even Ark's words flashing in the back of your minds, turning your back towards an enemy as you kind of start turning to Tal and then realize, oh, wait, I should not turn right now, just as you hear that voice, that growl, and you just out of the way.
Yeah. I think it's like you even hear like the ah!
Great.
I have one question though.
Yeah, what's up?
Are there any drakes here?
Drakes?
Yeah.
You don't see any drakes?
Why are you always lying?
Specific question.
God damn it.
Let's go.
Duval's just gone.
Okay, I'm done.
I was so confused.
I was too. I'm like, that's a very specific question.
Do you have a
Duval
thing
actually
for
left.
drakes?
Duval
Oh my
left.
Duval, that was a good one.
Duval
Give me
was
some credit.
gone.
Let's just take a collective moment of silence for that L. Holy
Absolutely
shit.
Yeah.
Tal, it's your turn. Take this away from Waffles. I mute you. Proud of yourself,
Tal.
I love it.
Is going to. This music is great. Tal has 25 feet of movement. It's gonna go.
The enclosure
Um,
is tall, so you're not gonna be able to get
how
past
tall?
the enclosure. Tall.
How
so that
tall?
lions can't jump it.
How tall?
Okay,
Yeah.
Here's
think
why.
of the
You
number.
It's
don't
Tal.
have to come. No, you don't have to. You don't have to come
25
up with a specific number. I intend. Wait, no, never mind. You just said lions can't jump over it, so never mind. My intentions are bullshit.
Because if a lion can't climb it, neither can you.
No. If a
really
lion
funny.
can't climb it, I could, but then it wouldn't matter because it can't get to me, which my plan was. Never mind.
yes.
Okay, then. We are going to. Use.
I really like this music.
Yeah, it's
it's
really
really
good.
good.
New shit. Let's go. New season.
We're going to, because I know it doesn't deal a whole lot of damage, and also can't really miss. I'm going to move around just to the outside. I'm not on the fence. I'm just like right
Yeah,
next to it. I'm going to whistle loudly.
Ooh.
Oh wait, I had bullhorn. I'm going to cast bullhorn
Okay.
and then whistle loudly.
Oh god.
Earmuffs, Arc.
Yeah, art covers
Yeah,
his ears
I'm
really
so
fast.
sorry. Like, I would. Here's the thing. I'm going to cast bullhorn and then knowing how Arc, because I saw what like the interaction between Arc and Arafate in the busyness, knowing that there's something with like sound with Arc, before casting Bullhorn, would say, Ark, cover your ears, and then would cast Bullhorn and whistle very loudly. Which I think would be, because Bullhorn I think is 1 action. Things I don't remember.
What are you trying to do?
Once I get their attention, making my way back towards the gate.
Okay.
So
Got it.
I was just like here.
Bullhorn is 1 action.
Okay, great. No,
So-
Bullhorn is 2 actions. Bullhorn is 2 actions, so I would say where I am then.
All right. So kind of you try to grab all of their attention. In doing so,
And also the attention of like staff would be great.
Yeah,
too.
exactly. So in doing so, you also have a feeling that this can be heard outside, as well as the beginning of like the just the noise in general of this encounter. So you do see them look at you. Make a performance check for me.
This is my lucky day. 18.
Okay. So with that, the other lion's turn comes up as it runs forward and begins to similarly run and pounce, which it actually can't do from here. So never mind. Instead, it's going to come around and kind of have to kind of try to move past its friend, and that's going to take like 2 actions to kind of come out into there, and with that, it's going to look at you, Tal, who has taken its attention, and it's going to bite you with its jaws.
Can certainly try to do that.
Well, what does a 25 hit?
You can certainly succeed at doing that.
Excellent. So with that, it. Oh, actually, I rolled my damage already. Never mind. You take 4. Is it a critical?
Oh God, no.
Okay. You take 14 points of piercing damage. 14.
Owie.
And you are considered grabbed in
Excellent.
its jaws.
Great.
And
Good.
good, right? That sounds real good.
That feels real. My bones are crunchy.
That's not a word. That's not a statement I wanted to hear
My
today.
bones are
Well, you
crunchy.
heard my bones go crunchy.
Sure.
No.
Okay, so that is basically plus grab means that with the strike, you are grabbed, or the monster has a creature grabbed or restrained. So attempt. Well, I also have to attempt. I have to roll, right, Waffles?
For the grab?
I think so. The monster attempts to grapple the creature using the body part it's attacked with. Okay, so I'm going to.
Yeah, you get a free roll.
Yeah, it doesn't cast any action, but I will go ahead and roll for that. So we'll just do a athletics check. Okay, what is your reflex DC?
Is it 10 plus my reflex?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, 19.
Actually, it's against your fortitude for some reason, but athletics check
well,
against the
that's-
target's fortitude DC.
That's worse. 17.
17. Oh, okay. That's a critical success.
Great, good.
You are so it grabs on it. It's gonna kind of its mouth lashing onto your entire like upper arm, and you are going to be restrained
Great.
until the end of your next turn.
Sick. Great. Cool. Neat. Got it. Great. Hate it. Good.
Unless you move or something like that. I'm not sure. Well, if somebody can look that up while I continue, because I just don't want to take too long.
Well, I'm immobilized, so I cannot.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That is its first attack.
Oh,
You have that
sick.
on your sheet?
Yes,
Right. Cool.
but it
Just
did
checking.
move.
Actually, wait. No,
That
we're
was his
okay.
only-
It had to move twice to get there.
Yep.
You're
Did
good.
move.
All right.
Yep.
Hideaki, you are
Wow.
literally flanked on both sides
Yeah.
Tal
by
is screaming.
these massive lions.
Could point of clarification, because I see the tokens next to Arc 2 and Tal's like over there. I'm confused. Aren't they shouldn't they be closer together?
What?
So that lion just moved past its friend over into this little
Because
space.
it's over here, and maybe there's a lag because I see Tal's here and the lion
there's
here.
a lag.
Oh no, Tal is here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah, that's
interesting.
weird. I don't see.
Do you see
Maybe
if I
you
move
might
them,
need
do you
to
see
Yeah,
them?
you just
There,
moved
no,
Tal,
yeah.
and now Tal's there. Yes.
Yeah,
Got
Tal
it.
was
Perfect.
in the
Yeah,
doorway.
there was
for
a
me,
lag
too.
then.
Okay, cool. Because I was like, what? I was like, I'm so confused. Okay, cool.
Oh.
Everything just absolutely his entire plan
Clicked
just
into
blew up.
place. That makes sense.
I was like, what's so confusing? I'm confused.
It's all good. Okay, so yeah, everything's just very bad.
Big
And
bad
so you
times.
just see
Big bad
as
times.
he's so first things first, tandem movement. We're gonna Hideaki.
You're muted, my friend.
forgot. I'm trying to do a lot of things.
That's okay.
Where did my token go?
Oh.
You might have pressed
You
backspace.
may want to refresh roll 20 because it seems to be a little fucking door right now. I brought you back.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Ah, That's so much
all right.
for the love.
Yay. Okay. Okay, cool. Let's try that one more time. We're gonna move spaghetti. 1, 2, 3.
Mom
Mom
four,
spaghetti.
Mom's
five.
sketty.
We're gonna move
My
back
knees are
here,
weak.
this way, and this way using one movement because I have tandem movement. And from as
How
we
dickish would it be if I was like, and they use their reaction? They don't have a reaction. It's fine.
that's what I was thinking to myself. One way for me to find out if they have one is now. And from inside the cage,
Ooh.
and you see if you're looking at Hideaki, he begins to whisper and kind of moves his hands. And he's going to use the last 2 actions to cast Ghost Sound.
Ooh.
And just for the folks at home, I'll read this out to you. You create an auditory illusion of simple sounds that has a maximum volume equal to 4 normal humans shouting. The sounds emanate from a square you designate within range. You can't create intelligible words or other intricate sounds such as music. So what I would like it to sound like is, even though it's not words, I would like it to sound like what's her face, the owner of this area, and it's just kind of like a mewing sound, like over
So
and
it's
over,
like kind of
calling out to
sounding
them.
like her voice, but it's just like
Yeah.
Can you? Oh, okay, like that, like.
Yep.
Okay, so interesting, very interesting. Okay, and where is it emanating from?
It's gonna emanate. Like I get to pick a square. It's gonna emanate from right here.
Okay, so this is very interesting. Okay, noted as you sort of back out over there. Oh, I also lost you on the turn order. Let me just add you real quick.
Yeah, it's a 22. I can add it.
It's actually perfect because
Perfect.
it was perfect.
Cool.
Okay. And in tandem with Overnose, are you doing anything?
I
guess you moved in tandem.
Well, that was just the tandem. To act together along with the ghost sound. He's just going to move again, like far up in, kind of past, like into the, because he has like a shit ton, like 35 feet of movement, like into the
Enclosure.
forested area here. Yep, inside.
Okay,
Huh?
so Overnose is kind of passing you in and going into the enclosure.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Could he have am I out of actions to grab some meat? If so, it's fine. Look, no big deal. But I was just curious.
Probably,
Totally fine.
I'll say.
Totally
yeah.
fine. All good. That's what I wanted to do. I have another idea that's equally as awful for next time.
So excited.
Cool. Let's go. I'm good.
Arc. Everyone's getting so creative. I really like it.
Listen, we're fighting lions.
Oh my.
This is a bad time for Arc here.
Worse than earlier?
It's just a big lion.
It's just a
I'm
big
sure it's real friendly. It's just trying to eat some food, some
Yeah,
dinner.
well, to let everyone inside Arc's mind a little bit, Arc doesn't really care to be swinging a weapon right now.
I wonder why.
I can imagine.
So he is actually going to run to here, to the right of Erife, kind of.
Kind of around between the two
Yeah,
lions.
kind of pinching the two lions, but like not in between them, not flat-footed areas. And he's going to. He hasn't had his mask on because it wasn't time for the battle, and he's gonna go to put his mask on, and he turns kind of the rainbowed out inside towards them, and the light hits it, and a brilliant like flash of color comes out, and then he puts his mask on as he casts color spray.
That is so cool.
That's
love it.
rad.
Okay, what does color spray do?
I need will saves from both lions. It's a 15-foot cone, so I can, as long as you GM say it's okay, I catch both of their right and left top squares and the cone, and don't hit anyone else.
I'll let it happen. What am I? Sorry. What am I rolling?
Will saves from both of them, please.
What if I don't want of them?
Well, then just fail.
Yeah, just
Okay. Well, one's an 18 and one's an 11, so I do think at least one failed.
They both failed. They both normal failed.
Okay.
Nice,
Alright.
What
nice,
does
nice,
color
nice,
spray
nice.
do?
Good luck.
What?
It's just so much. All right, so they're both stunned one, which is just like one action.
Nice. Yeah.
They're both blinded for 1 round.
Okay.
And dazzled for 1 minute.
What does dazzle
Okay.
do? For curiosity,
Dazzle.
fellow player.
Ironically, I think we've
Dazzled
discovered dazzle.
is
So they're all basically you are all concealed. All creatures and objects are concealed from them, and so basically have to succeed on a DC 5 flat check to even target you.
If vision is their primary sense, they're the only precise sense. So if they have they probably don't
They
have
do
a
have
smell
scent.
precise.
Imprecise.
Yeah. So we're all concealed at them basically.
Cool. And then what was the one other thing? So it was and blinded, correct?
Yeah, blinded for 1 round, 1 entire round, and dazzled for 1 minute.
Okay, so blind overrides dazzled, and that is going to be
Just for 1 round.
-4.
Yeah, just for 1 round, and then dazzled for 10 rounds.
Okay. Very, very, very cool thing. So actually before is the rest of your turn? Is that it?
That's it.
All right. Aerofay, before I can react.
Okay.
Is your
I'll do this instead. I was going to ask a question about one of my spells, but I think I'm going to do a different one instead. So from where she is, I'm going to fire off a Calm Emotions.
Ooh.
So I have 120 feet, 10-foot burst. So I'm going to put it between the 2 lions.
Okay.
And so I can target them both, and it is a DC 20 will saving throw.
Oh my. So many will saving throws. All right. Another one. Another one. 20 and 22.
Another one.
Okay. So they both succeed, but then they both have a -1 status penalty on their attack rolls.
So amazing. Okay.
Nice.
So
Do I have to make this or no?
I'll say I'm gonna put it so it doesn't hit you.
Okay.
So it's only a 10-foot radius.
Kinda
so
like a
I'll
little
just
bit
put it.
back
I'll just put
there.
it
The
right
Revenge of
behind them.
Arafay.
calm the fuck down.
Look,
Your
I got it.
If you had
so-
some.
Ooh.
Get him out.
Okay, so at the end of that, the sounds of fighting and the bullhorn have drawn the attention of the proprietor, Oba
Oh,
Eze,
yeah.
and
We're about to
she
see.
kind of comes running to the gate, kind of back off to the side, to the left there, off screen a little, and she realizes quickly that clearly more has happened, and she just kind of yells out like, "More of my animals are free? Why must misfortune plague me? Please recover them alive. I beg of you. These animals are fierce, but they're also expensive. I'll reward you for subduing them and putting them back in their cages."
Do they
And then she
see
just
like me
hurls-
in the mouth of a lion right now, being like, "Don't
And Whoever has line of sight on this sees her hurl a ring of keys through the gate
Jesus.
towards y'all.
Oh
And
my
that lands kind of
dislike
on
her.
the path. And it's just like, you got this.
Can I say for flavor? Like at the middle of that, like, do you want to help? And then like that's when she tosses them. Like,
My first thought was,
Perfect.
"You're a bad dog, mom."
yeah,
Arc just
I'm
telekinetic projectiles it back at her. No, I'm joking.
yeah.
And like,
Oops.
and
Sticks in
you,
her neck.
just as a reminder, just to put a little bit of, listen, your reactions are so valid, but like,
Yeah.
she's also very much just a person and cannot
yeah.
do very
Totally.
much against
Of-
Oh
these.
yeah, she
of
could have also
course not.
chosen not to go into this line of
Yeah,
industry.
or not be
you know?
total shit at it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Also, our
Enjoy this ring of
projectile
keys.
is back at her. You body.
Would you like this ring of keys in this trying time?
I'm just like, Art cannot
Oh.
projectile back the keys. He's bodied someone with a coin. Like, we
Yeah, yeah.
can't.
It's true.
She's a key component to helping us.
Oh, stop it. I hate it here. All right, with that, the lion genuinely is going to, the one that's like kind of this to the right of you, Arc, genuinely hears that pun and is going to attack you with
Hi.
all of the penalties. And is going to, now it can't quite see you, it doesn't know where it is, so this is absolutely going to be a DC 5 flat check first, even if it can get anywhere near you, but it's going to try to literally swipe wildly to do it. That is a 3 out of a DC, I rolled a D20, it's a 3, which means that
Nice.
it misses.
Yeah, it
Right?
does. It does. Yeah, it's just a pure miss, so it does count against
Yeah.
its attack rolls and stuff.
Okay. It roars angrily, unable to hit you, and I think it's going to just try again, like blindly swapping forward. So they're not calm emotion, correct? But is it just a -1 penalty?
Yeah, just a
Holy
-1 penalty to attack. To attack rolls only.
Okay. That's a 3 on the DC 5 flat check. Holy shit.
Hey,
And then just
clutch.
really frustrated, it's going to snap its mouth forward in front of it. If it even can do DC. Yes. Okay, got a 10.
How dare you celebrate?
Well, listen, it's that pun. I took damage. I need to revenge.
I'm a player too.
But this is absolutely like not to its advantage. It is it did claw draw as opposed to what it should be doing with the agile trait. So this is at a -3 penalty, and now I roll to see if it hits.
Should be at like a minus. Oh, mine. Okay, I see what you're.
Plus a -1. Correct. From the calm emotion fail.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, Arc, does a 6 hit you?
No.
I
If
spelled
you
that.
try really hard, a 6 could look like.
If you
If
hit
I
20, whatever.
really
on a
wanted it
star.
to.
That's almost a double critical fail.
Thanks so very much. So this lion is like disoriented. It did hear noises in this direction, so it is imprecise scent, does kind of get an idea with its hearing and its scent, like to its relative eastward direction is where it's hearing things and seeing things. But in the immediate was snapping. This lion, oh, you know what? I didn't put them together. Never mind. So actually it's going to be it's still latched onto you technically with all of this
Yes.
blindness
but
stuff.
Sure.
My turn.
True.
So it is your turn.
I can't move. Now I have
unfortunate.
You
to.
can attempt to escape. That's about all
Yes.
you can do.
Yeah. Am I restrained or am I grabbed?
You are grabbed, which means you're immobilized and flat-footed.
Okay, let me
and
make
you
sure I
need to
put the
to
right
do
condition on then.
any manipulate action. You must succeed also on that DC 5 flat check. So that's
Yeah.
like, yeah, anything that's manipulate.
Okay. That's better than restrained, which is what I accidentally put down.
Good.
Still, just to let you know if you care, escape is acrobatics or athletics or your unarmed
Oh.
attack modifier.
Great. One of those is a number that's more than 0. Um,
And what is it against Waffles? The original roll or a DC or a roll?
It's typically the athletics DC of a creature grabbing you, so that would be the athletics plus 10.
Cool. Thank you.
okay.
You got this.
Okay, I'm gonna try to then
Escape.
get out
Escape.
with
Is this a manipulate?
acrobatics.
Waffles?
No.
Does the escape... Okay, good.
Escaping is an attack, technically.
Okay, so go ahead and roll your acrobatics. Slip and slide.
Ah. 13?
Feels pretty good.
Yeah, I rolled a 3.
Yeah, I mean, that's a roll. You need a 10 plus, though, right?
I got a 13.
No, it does not work.
No.
Okay.
Not even.
Well, it's more than 10.
Well, 10 plus, I meant the
Oh, the die
Sorry.
had to be...
their athletics is 13, so their DC is 23. So you got their athletics, just not the DC.
Yep. Just the other stat.
Ah, great. Good. Okay. Well, does that just count? Can I do that 2 more times?
Yeah, it will be with multiple attack penalty.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Oh,
a
well, you know
minuses.
what? Great. I'm going to try to do it. I'm going to try to do it one more time then with a penalty.
All right. Yeah.
What's my penalty? How much do I
Is this
-4
agile?
because it's considered it would be agile because it's considered unarmed.
Yeah, because you do acrobatics. Yeah.
So I rolled total 1 less for a 12.
Oh,
We're doing
boy.
good.
A total of 12 after I -4. Great.
We're doing good.
Great. Okay, so then
Tasty arm.
my last action, I'm gonna cast shield.
Yeah, that's smart.
Amazing.
That's probably a good idea.
That's what I'm gonna do.
So very curious, Waffles. If they are currently grabbed, how does it operate for their imprecise, like the fact that they're blinded and all that jazz?
I am still in mouth.
A grab is, what do you mean?
So, like, do they still need to succeed the DC 5 flat check if they're grabbed?
A grab is an attack.
Well, I am currently grabbed.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
already
technically, it is
already in their
until
mouth.
the end,
To the
of
end of
your turn, right? So you will, at the end of your turn, no longer be grabbed, question mark? This is where I'm unsure.
No, they stay grabbed.
is it the end of my turn or at the end of the
If they
lion's
cannot
turn?
escape, they stay grabbed. The lion has to start its turn by attempting to hold the grab, or at the end of their turn, they will let go of the grab.
Understood.
Cool.
So,
So I am still grabbed at the start of lion's turn.
but even though, so if they don't wish to extend the grab,
Then at
and
the end of the turn, they'll let me go.
right, but now while you're still grabbed during their turn, they wish to attack you,
Right.
but they're blinded, but they have a hold on you. Do they
But they
still have
already,
to do
they
it?
already know where you are. You're in their mouth.
That's your call as a GM. By pure rules, they need to make the concealed check because they can't see.
Makes sense.
Yeah. By pure rules, I mean there are plenty of things to say, but you're in its mouth, so it's very easy.
Yeah, I was gonna say logically, I feel like
You
it
have been
wouldn't need
found.
to make that. Yeah, I've gone nowhere.
So it's going to start with, because you are in its jaws, it is going to use a jaw strike against you. Now, jaw strike has grab with it, so in this, it's going to also extend it if it's successful. But that is a 14, technically, with the common motions to attack. Does that hit you?
No, it doesn't.
Interesting.
Yeah, even
now
with my
for
flat-footed.
its claw attacks, which is going to try to follow after here, it is going to try to move because it heard stuff going in that direction. So it's going to try to move with you. And how does this work? I'm asking. We're throwing Waffles into the rules bus today, so let's go.
Straight into the
is
bus.
forced movement, all that jazz, because they are still currently grabbed. I know at the end of the turn they may not be, but if it's trying to move with them grabbed, how does that operate?
Without deep diving right now, I'm fairly certain that it is you can drag the person up to half the distance.
Okay. So you get pulled. I'm totally cool with that rule. As it tries to like walk by, and it's kind of going blindly, which even then I don't think it can do much here. Oh, is its movement affected? There's so many conditions on this thing.
Yeah. Waffles did say good luck, didn't he?
That's rough. You should be able to like click conditions on them, thankfully, maybe.
Not on the monster stat sheet,
Unlucky.
unfortunately. But hold on real quick. This is the good shit.
This is that good Pathfinder
I should have
shit.
put nothing that messes with their speed on there. They
Yeah, I don't think it's
Yeah.
anything that
They should
impacts
have
their
I don't
speed.
think. Yeah, I don't think.
And they have imprecise sense and all that jazz and one less action. Okay. So they're gonna try to swing down over here and they drag you with them, and then very blindly going to swipe forward based on where the two of you are, Hideaki and Tal. I'm gonna start with the DC 5 flat check to see if it hits literally anything.
Alright, let me interrupt you real quick though.
Yeah, what's
You
up?
tried to bite and then you moved. That's 2 actions. It has one
Oh,
less.
Sure,
it's-
unless they have 4 actions for some reason.
No, you are correct. And
It's
what
alright,
is
lots happening.
reducing their
They're
move by one?
stunned 1.
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool. Then never mind. That's it. Perfect. Thank you. That makes my turn easier. And at the end of your turn, it missed, so you are no longer grabbed. As you kind of get your arm finally out from their mouth, Hideaki, it's your turn.
Where art thou meet on the ground?
There was not much left. There was like little bits of it in the sacks in the torn up shed.
Oh, okay, that's very far away.
Yeah.
Okie dokie then. In that case, Hideaki's going like it's it's very like that part in Jurassic Park where like everyone's like hiding from like the raptors and stuff. So even though because I guess he could see that they're like dazzled and stuff, so they can't like see. So there's just like he's just like maneuvering down,
Just go on a slide to the
very
left.
carefully, and he's gonna have Ovenosa stay directly where they are, and he's gonna cast Ghost Sound again, centered
Keep that up.
right here, and it's just like just like in their voice. And he just like holds a fucking breath. And he's gonna let's see. So I don't really need to worry about movement right now. And I'll cast Shield on myself
Perfect.
with my last action.
Arc 2.
And he's just like keeping like an eye on Tal, and just kind of like just like we're here, we got this.
Okay. It is Arc 2. I don't know what to do. I can't move these guys anywhere. These peeps. Sorry, I don't know if they're
We
good.
could try. You got big muscles. You're big, strong arc.
By the rules of the game, I cannot move them.
You can
'Cause
kick them so hard
I
that
don't,
they
I
fall
don't have
over.
giant wrestler or whatever. Titan wrestler. There we go. That's what the feat is.
Well,
Let's see. What can I do that's worth anything here? All right. Arc's just gonna jump on this one.
yes.
This one that's like close to the gate.
Okay, the one below you.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to jump on it like grapple mode, like it's a big horse.
Fly. Like it's a big fly.
Like it's a big fly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Call back.
What do I do for that?
That'll probably be like a grapple.
I'm gonna need a yeehaw
Grapple?
check.
Yeehaw
A
check.
yeehaw check, please. Yes, thank you.
Because Waffles is from the south, it gets you get a +5.
Yep.
Yeah.
Arc on the other
Yeehaw
hand.
lore.
Yeah.
What is a grapple? That's it's athletics.
Athletics check against their fortitude DC.
24. That's pretty good.
That is pretty good. And just beats their
Sheesh.
DC. Yeah.
The natural 18. All right. Well,
Yeehaw.
I'm gonna spend my last 2
Yeehaw.
actions attempting to coax slash ride slash push this, like, hey, you go in here.
Okay.
Hey, you guys.
If
hey,
you move,
you
I want you to go
guys.
this way.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're gonna try to use this grapple to control its movement, the next movement that it makes. Fair?
Yep. Your head is looking this way. Look.
Okay. Arafe.
Okay, rules question for you.
Yeah.
On command, the spell command, it says you shout a command that's hard to ignore. You can, and then it lists a few things. Are those the only commands I can use, or can I issue my own command? It just the way
I
it's
think
worded
I'd like
sounds
to view
like
them
there's
as
lists.
samples.
Okay. I wasn't sure because the way it's stated makes it sound like here's what you can say, and I just wanted to double check Pathfinder rules and not automatically assume D&D rules.
Since I messed up earlier, I there's something else. So I messed up on the incapacitation trait because I remember we gotta look at a bunch of traits for Pathfinder2e. The command has linguistic, which means you need to it relies on
One
language
needs to
comprehension.
understand your language. Correct.
Okay. Okay.
And the command target to approach you, run away, release what it's holding, drop
Yep.
prone, or stand in place. I would say like it would have to somewhat fall within that category, but I would let you get creative with that
Okay,
and like
it's not
manipulate it a little bit for
held
future
into
reference.
that. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Okay. Well, okay. Then what am I gonna do? Oh fuck! I had plans and neither of them work anymore. I guess at this point all I can do is try and calm the other one again. So I'm gonna fire another calm emotions at this one over here. Because I don't want to hit Arc with it.
Hit me.
So
All right.
will saving throw.
Listen, we all know Ark's been a little too uptight lately and really needs to get those emotions under control.
I mean, I hit you. You should hit me. So.
Yeah.
What was the DC?
20.
20.
Oh, boo.
So do these penalties stack?
Wait, is there, because it is under, is it, I'm at this point, I'm just going to ask because my brain cannot, I don't have the
Sure.
tags on here that I would love to have. Is there anything that would make a -1 to that? Because there was a -1 previously.
Yeah, so that's what I was wondering if it would stack, because it's essentially it passed again, so it says calming urges imposes a -1 status penalty to the attack
Just
rolls.
-1 status penalty, period, or 2 attack rolls?
To attack roll. To the creature's attack rolls.
So
Well,
yeah.
that's
Okay.
the saving
So
throw, right?
it would not stack, and
Yeah.
it doesn't have a -1 to make it fail more.
Yeah. Okay. Unfortunately.
You could have just used this action to sustain it because it's a sustain spell.
Yeah, well, I
Oh.
was trying to get a better
Make
result.
it better.
Totally valid. All
So
good.
I would say you could, even though this one failed, you could, if you still have the action, still use that one action left.
Yes,
to
I
sustain.
still have. Yeah, I'm going to use my last action to sustain. I was, like I said, I knew it was very unlikely, but I wanted to try for a better result because everything else I have is damaged. So I don't really want to hit these if I can help it.
So
yeah, that's my turn.
All right. So at this point, the first lion is going to kind of stumble forward. It was something for 1 round, Waffles, and then the rest for. So it's no longer
it was
blinded,
blind
but
for
now
a
it is
whole round
dazzled.
and then dazzled.
Okay. So now kind of dazzled, and you kind of see as the its iris is sort of like shining, but with like multicolored lights a little bit. It's like kind of sparkling in its eyes as that light reflects as it kind of stumbles forward, and is going to try to make its way over. It'll make a swipe at you, Arafe, with a -1 still. But that makes it a 24. Oh, wait, no. Wait. I have to succeed the DC 5 flat check first. 10. Okay, it succeeds. Yes.
That'll hit.
Okay. You take 9 points of slashing damage.
Is that the first time anything has hit us?
Yep. Well, except for you.
Yeah, you got.
Yeah, so
Wow! Yeah, I think it hit pretty hard, didn't I?
yeah,
You did get 14.
I forgot. 4.
Another DC 5 flat check misses. Just goes completely wide. I for the my DC flat checks, I just want this to be very clear. I've rolled D20s, mind you. I triple checked, and I got a 3 and a 3. And then I got a 10 when it succeeded. I got another 10 when it succeeded, and then a 2.
Roll 20, ambassador.
So with that, it is going to kind of just catching air, going to try to move until it realizes that it literally like can't. So it's kind of wastes that last little bit trying to like move into it, bumps against the fence a little bit. I know it's not blind. It's trying to get forward though, and that's going to be its third action. So at this point, kind of zooming out as we take our last round here for the combat tonight, with the ghost sound directing their attention inwards, their dazzle, their continued calm emotions attempts, is there any, give me like one last thing that you are doing to try to get, because Ark is directing the one lion in with you know, what is somebody doing maybe to help push that forward and get that last lion in as well? So we'll start with you, Tal.
I think Tal is just going to do a repeat of what they had done before. I know that there's already the ghost illusion. But essentially they're going to play tag with the tiger that Ark is not on. Not going to use bullhorn this time, but is literally just going to reach over and like boop the tiger's or the lion's snoot. It's a lion. I know you said tiger, and now I'm saying tiger, and it's just a big cat, you know. Is literally just going to like boop it on the top of its nose, not like smack it hard, but like give it a big enough boop, and just kind of yell commands at it to try to get it to follow me through the fence. And then once we're in, then a scoodoodle-doo.
Got it. Okay. Hideaki.
I grabbed the keys wherever they were thrown at.
Okay.
And I think in the case, depending on what they do, like he'll either cast Ghost Sound again, or if things go like off kilter, he'll like cast Electric Arc and like slam it against the ground.
Interesting. Okay. And then Ark.
Yeah, Ark's just doing Ark things. Ark's riding this cat in.
Okay. With the honestly, the threat from behind its dazzled self, because it's going to be dazzled for a full minute, and its attempt to kind of buck you off, you are going to manage to make me one more athletics check, and then Hideaki, make me an attack roll as a sort of like intimidational aspect to this.
Okay. So just make like an intimidation check.
You can, you can make me an intimidation check because you're not targeting. Yeah. I said intimidation. I was like, that's a roll. You just rolled that.
I made it.
Yep.
9 for athletics.
I made a 9.
24 for intimidation. He is fucking locked in.
Okay, so the one lion is basically begins to like buck you off, Ark, as it gets like lion bucking, just a really funny visual. But you basically get thrown off. But as it's trying to direct it inwards, but as you kind of do that, Hideaki follows it up with a sort of intimidating lightning strike behind it, causing it to rush inwards, just kind of instinctually, which is one lion in, with the boop of the snoot managing to kind of bring it along. You bring it down here, and I need one last roll, Tal, can you make me an acrobatics check to try to get out before the lions? And then, Arafe, you have one more thing to be able to help get that last lion in.
So I think for the first time, I'm gonna ask if I can use my haunted one background.
Her what?
Tell
I would
me
like
more.
I would like to move behind the lion and say, Renala, would you like to help? And I'd like to have her like kind of come up and help intimidate it in.
Yes.
Now that I know her, can I
what?
use her?
It's been
Yes.
2 years. You're what?
I know, right?
Amazing. And so kind of with this shadowed form looming over you, and you watch as Renala, like with this shadowed form looms up behind you, expanding and like larger than life, larger, like a shadow stretched up above you. With their dazzled like self, they see this large looming figure, and they turn away from that. So the question is, does Tal get out before the lion?
I mean, if I was Tal, I would also run away from that large looming figure.
Yeah. Acrobatics, you say? 23.
Okay, Hideaki, with the keys in hand, you are rushing up behind. This lion is basically in the doorway, and Tal is on the inside. You're like, what the fuck am I going to do? There's a moment as it gets spooked from behind, as it starts to rush forward. Kind of, it's worse off for you, Tal. With a 23,
Yeah.
you kind of just dive under its legs.
Great.
I don't know if that's the smartest move.
Listen, Tal, I never said Tal is that kind of smart.
And also with Overnosa kind of making noises and drawing their attention that way. They brought inwards. Tal, you slip out. Hideaki, you come in with that lock it right up behind them as you get both lions back in their enclosure. Relatively unharmed, all in all, with just a bleeding arm of Tal with from bite marks and some slashing on Arafe. Did anybody else get hurt?
No.
Amazing. With 2 lions locked up, Tal slipping out of that gate, you read that sign that stands in front of it one last time.
3.
Lions. 3.
Lions.
Yep.
And that's where we are going
15.
to end
Yep,
tonight.
Yep. Fuck.